Well, hello. I see nobody's in here yet. Don't know if we're going to get anybody in here. Oh, it popped up to 13. Real quick. We're still going to give it a few minutes, guys, before we actually get started. And I had planned on playing the little short video, the short that Daisy put out. And if you listen to it, it explains. Well, it doesn't explain, but you understand what happened as far as the miscommunication, the misunderstanding, and the mistake about what Candace supposedly said yesterday. I want to put out there that by no means, I guess I'm already getting started, but by no means was that Justin's fault at all. If anybody is at fault, and I do not bash creators, if anybody is at fault, it would be Daisy. We plainly, let me give you a reference here. Hello, nerd girl. She says, hi, Nana, and everyone. Crafting with Amy. Hello, Nana. I'm late, so gonna rewind. Honey, I just literally just started. You're not late. Literally. But do you get, that's another reason I do this. I put them up on screen so people can see what I'm addressing and who said it, even if I forget to say who said it. What happened the other night with Daisy and when Candace supposedly said that Summer was in heaven was Daisy did not click on the comment. She referred to one comment where the person said hello can I hate that name, but the person said hello can, and then the next person down, which was Gail, was talking about spend as much time with your child because my daughter's in heaven. Well, instead of Daisy putting them up on screen or addressing the person that actually made the comment, she says, hey, can. And then it says, you need to spend as much time with your children as you can because my daughter's in heaven. So to everybody, that has made the assumption she was speaking, saying hello to Candace, and then reading Candace's comment. That's where that came from. So that's another reason why, guys, you can't jump to conclusions when you all hear something. Not saying that everybody did. I'm just saying you can't jump to conclusions when you hear something. You can't automatically take it for fact and say, oh, got to call TBI. We got to call TBI. Because guess what? TBI was called. I'm assuming probably more than a half a dozen times to report that. And guess what? In less than 12 hours, it was found out that Candace never even said it. It was another person in Daisy's chat who was speaking of their child who was no longer here on earth. So therefore, there's more phone calls the TBI has to address, check into, make sure of. Now there's more rumors going around YouTube. Who said what? Who said this? Who put the information out? But I will say 100%, in my opinion, which it was my panel, so my opinion should count. Justin did nothing wrong, and I don't want anybody say anything to him. If anybody was in the wrong, it was Daisy. But for not clarifying who was speaking and who was saying what. And you almost have to wonder if she wasn't wanting to get, the light away from her and her sister arguing again and getting somebody railed up about something else. If Daisy would have said the woman's name before reading that woman's comment, there wouldn't have been any. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Bob. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to bash Daisy. I'm just stating a fact. There's been people on here I mean, I got woke up. Well, I didn't get woke up, but I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had Tiffany Marie's video sent to me. Hey, look at this. Look what's being said. I get up this morning, I get on YouTube. What's the first thing I see? First video. And it's Michelle Walks reporting on it. Now, no, I'm not saying Michelle said, it was fact, but she did say if it was said, then people need to report it, or that Justin or Daisy needs to report that. I'm correcting myself. But the plain and simple fact is, if everybody to just calm down, give it a little while, let everybody sort out who said what, I'm sure that the problem would have been solved before TBI was drug into it. And I'm sure that this is part of the problem that TBI has with this case. Because everybody just seems to jump the gun and want to report everything and anything that's said. And when in the end, it's found out that that wasn't even what was said, or it was what was said, but not by that person. I can't watch Daisy. I just can't. I've heard clips of her on other channels. I'm normally not able to chat. Gotta do stuff. So listening. Okay. Daisy isn't bright enough to be covering true crime, so she better stick to her farm animals. Bob, that's not nice. Hello, Miss Discovering. Nice of you to join us, since how you couldn't answer the phone a minute ago. I really needed to talk to you a while ago. Actually, I don't ask my friends and my subs and my viewers, my mods, I don't ask y'all for a whole lot. But I got some really disturbing news this morning, and I need your prayers. The doctors believe that my daughter has an enlarged heart. And for some of you, that may not mean anything, but it scares the hell out of me. And I just need extra prayers for her peace of mind, for mine, for her health. Like I said, I don't ask a lot of you all, but I do ask for extra prayers. Please. She's finding out right now. They're doing a bunch of tests and stuff now, and they're going to be scheduling her to go in and have, the big ultrasounds or whatever it is that they do. I'm assuming we'll have to go to Knoxville to get those done. So, I'm sorry, guys. I had already had this scheduled before I found this news out, or I probably wouldn't have went live. I see you, honey. I need you to go in. I know we're friends on Nana's Angels Facebook, but I need you to go in and accept my friend request. I'll try to get it text to you under the Nana's Angels page so that you know who it is. But I requested your friendship a long time ago, and you never accepted it. And I just realized it was probably because you didn't know who I was under my real name. So thank you for all your prayers. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to blubber. I do apologize. And as I have been told, I shouldn't bring my personal problems to my YouTube channel. But guess what? Nowhere on my YouTube channel does it say anything about true crime. It says I am a mother and a grandmother, and I bring my 2 cents, my opinion, to the table, and that's it. So if I want to ask for prayers from my friends to help one of my family, I'm going to do so. And anybody that don't like it can go kiss my butt, is all I can say. Well, it's showing me, sweetheart, that the request was still sent. But I mean, I'll check it again. Um, Now, getting back to this, uh, who thinks? I mean, do y'all not think that this everybody just jumped the gun on this stuff about Candace saying that? Am I like going overboard with this? Shouldn't everybody have just calmed down and waited and found out what the truth was first before we start, talking about calling TBI and reporting it? And I mean, I'm not taking up for Candace by no means, but it's not taking up for Candace. It's saying, hey, check your reality here, guys. This is part of the problem with the TBI not wanting to listen to anybody or any tips, is because of stuff like this right here. Oh, no, I'm so sorry too. Got that bad news. Prayers for you and family, hopefully. It won't be as bad as you imagine. I know as a parent, I expect the worst. Yep. You expect the worst and you pray for the best, and that way you can't be disappointed, right? Yeah, this is how rumors get started. Exactly. Yes, it was a misunderstanding and everyone jumped the gun. Exactly. And I mean, I know it came out, or Justin, when Justin got up on my panel, I mean, well, I was reading it in chat long before Justin got on panel. There were people who were coming over and telling me in chat that this is what was said. And it was multiple people. So it wasn't just any one person. But then 2 hours in, Justin comes in and I asked him to get up on panel. And all he did was repeat what he actually heard, because they were not looking at the live chat. They were just listening to what Daisy was saying. And if you go listen to her little short that she put out, you can hear exactly what she says. And it does sound like she's saying Candace said this. And I think it's just horrible the way that she treated Miss Sherry. I mean, I have not personally watched it, but I've taken Miss Sherry has no reason to come over here and lie about what was said. And there were other people that I've talked to that did watch and know what was said to Miss Sherry. And that's wrong. You do not treat our children and our elderly that way. If she didn't want Miss Sherry up on panel, she should have never pulled her up on panel. Plain and simple. And I once again, if this is bashing her, I do apologize. I'm not trying to bash Daisy. But there are just things that you do. I mean, common sense. I've not read the guidelines. I don't have an etiquette book for YouTube. But common sense and being a grown adult tells me what's appropriate and what isn't, and what you need to do as far as when you're reading a comment. Put the comment on screen so everybody knows who said it, and so that if you mispronounce a word or something, they can read it correctly. Or if you read it backwards, they can read it. I mean, it's common sense. I misunderstood as well. Well, honey, when I watched what Daisy herself put out this morning to clear up the subject, it literally says, oh, hey, Can, and then it goes into the comment, like Candace had said it. We have got to start slowing down, guys. Stop worrying about this creator and that creator and the other creator and how they do things and how they're running their channel. And We've got to focus more on these children, getting their stories out there, getting their faces, their names out there as quickly as possible and as far reached as possible. What creators say, I mean, I had somebody tell me last night that in 2 weeks she has seen the most anybody has spoke about a missing child on their lives or on their videos is maybe 10 minutes, and the rest of the time it's just arguing and bickering and bitching and complaining and backstabbing and come on, this is not a soap opera. It's supposed to be true crime. It's supposed to be about missing children and adults. Missing, lost, hurt, you name it. We're here to help the people that can't help themselves. We're not here to bash and belittle and condemn each other. We're supposed to be a community. We're supposed to be allies. We're supposed to be working together. Hopefully Daisy chalks it up as a lesson learned and starts reading the name before reading their comments. I doubt it. Like I said, and I'm not trying to bash anybody, but you have to wonder if that particular time it wasn't done a little bit out of malice, because it got everybody talking about that and they weren't talking about her and Jinkies and what happened. Oh, and I would like to say this. The dirty deleting or putting your videos on private or unlisted or whatever these people do, I have to give it to Tiffany Marie, at least when she did her video, and I'm proud that most people know this about me. She did say at the end of her video that she did not think by no means would I delete my live where that was said. Because I don't dirty delete. I do. If I say something, I mean what I say. And if I feel that I shouldn't have said it, then I won't say it to begin with. But if I say it and I screwed up by saying it, I have the guts and the balls and the hair on my butt to stand up and say, hey, yes, I did say it. Maybe I made a mistake, but I said it because that's what I thought at the moment. Why do these people take their videos down, their live chats down, or hide them, or whatever they do to them? I don't get it. I've only had a few that I've had to do that way. And one was because I thought it was protecting my own channel from getting struck by YouTube. But that eventually got put back out. The second one was because I had a lady, when we found that little missing girl, or what we thought was a missing girl, come to find out it was a fake case. And the mother and the father from Louisiana actually came on my panel. The next day they changed their mind and wanted their face and their name removed. And I did not know how to do that at the time. So I unlisted that. I mean, stuff like that, yeah. But I've still got the videos. Unfortunately, so many true crime channels have learned the drama gets the views, money, and apparently they get distracted away from the kids for the money, in my opinion, and that's sad. It is sad. I missed what Joelle and okay, yous were having a conversation. Justin is probably really hurting over this. I see you agree. I agree. He doesn't need to hear anymore. Right, he doesn't. And that's why the very first thing I said on here was it was not his fault at all. Justin is a good man with a loving heart. Yes, he's human like us all. He makes jokes. He says some things that might probably um ethically or not ethically, that's still not the right word I'm thinking of, but maybe that shouldn't be said, or maybe it's a little crude or something like that. But Justin's a good man with a good heart. And I do not believe he would purposely put out fake information like that. I have a very important question to ask you. Of course, would you like to come up on panel and talk about it, or do you just want to ask it in chat? If you'd like to come up on panel, hon, you're more than welcome to, and I can drop the link anytime. Who told Justin? Candace said that he was streaming Daisy, and Daisy made the comment on her own channel, but because Justin was listening to the channel, that's what he heard. He wasn't looking at the chat. And even if you were looking at the chat, you still wouldn't have picked up on it, because the person right above that comment and the person right below that comment was saying hello to Candace. Sailor. Okay, Sailor, hang on before you ask that question, hon. I'm going to show this real quick, okay? Oh, let me get it pulled up here. Like I said, I was planning on showing Daisy's little clip, but I just couldn't get it to work in time, so. But for the people who haven't seen this, Justin came out and showed that it was not Candace who said that. Right there, he put it on his community post. Hang on, let me get this moved. Okay, anyways, see right here, right above it, it says waving, or whoever it is, can, thumbs up, and then this person right below it says can, hello, honey. Well, Daisy read can, and then said, I wish I could spend more time with my daughter now, but I can't because she is in heaven now. Please spend time with your children and family. So, I mean, I understand the mix up there, but Daisy should have read these names off about who said what. Who's got a good question? Seek here. Can chat ever be altered by a creator? I do not believe so. No, I mean, all they have the option to do is either you can ban somebody or, time them out. I do not believe that you can. I know I can't. Only options I have: put user in timeout, ban user, and delete their comments. But it deletes all their comments. You can turn the live chat off so that it doesn't play in replay, or you can leave it on. And as far as I know, that's the only choices a creator has. They cannot go in and alter what's actually been said. Yeah, if it can be done, I wouldn't either, but it was other person saying that. Right, yes, it was another person saying that. So TM needs to hush up about Justin. Yes. It was not Justin's fault. Look in his shorts. I think he put a video out. Well, I'm having so much trouble with my electronics, honey, my laptops and my phone. And I can't, it's not letting me do half the stuff I need to do. We're lucky that I'm live right now. As a managing mod, we're not able to manipulate chat either. Thank you for putting that out there, hon. Actually, chat can be altered on replay by a mod or the creator. That's how a rogue mod hides people. Oh, but still, that's you ban them and then it hides all their comments. But you can't go in and change the words that are said. That's what they're asking. If you can actually, like, if Candace actually said that, can you go in, you know, edit her chat comment, copy paste, and put it under somebody else's name? That's what they were asking. Some creators don't have live chat replay. Exactly. So if you're watching later and they are addressing chat, you can't tell what was said. That's another reason why I try to always put my stuff up on screen. So that even if for some reason live chat's not playing, people still know what I'm referring to. Now, every now and then you'll catch me reading something really quick or something, and I'll say something about it, but it's not anything majorly important. You can only see the mod's actions in real time. Right. Yeah, you can't change anyone's comments. Daisy made it sound like Candace said it. She was not clear, and none of this is Justin's fault. I will defend him to the hilt on this. Exactly. Edits what you meant. Okay. Oh, by the way, guys, welcome. I'm glad to see all of you here. I just wound up jumping right into the subject and started talking and did not welcome each and every one of you, or I didn't even welcome the first 5. I don't even think I welcomed the first one. I do apologize. Welcome to Nana's Angels, where this channel belongs to you as well. Anybody that wants to say anything, make a statement, has a theory, wants to talk about another case, all you have to do is say, drop the link. I will drop it. You show your face, and you're more than welcome to come up on panel. As long as you are respectful, you're not disrespectful, or can't be rude. That's all I ask. Don't be rude, crude, or disrespectful. That's what I was trying to say. Mimi T, I completely agree. I watched it happen and thought the same at first. Thank you, Mimi T. Everyone's support is very much appreciated. Right? I mean, we have to stand up for the people. Instead of trying to tear everybody down or each other down, you're supposed to help somebody up when things like that happen. You're not supposed to just attack and try to make it sound worse than what it was to begin with, or try to make it sound like it was somebody else's fault. Oh, well, thank you, Marlene. I appreciate that, hon. I do try to be. I mean, there's times, if I can ever get this Nana's After Dark going, y'all may not think I'm such a sweetheart then. But I want to say something. I will have a video, my intro for Nana After Dark, where it is for just the members. And like I said, I hate doing that. I'm not trying to take away from everybody else, but I have to do something for the members. And when I do this, there will be an intro played that's going to say, anybody coming in here and clipping one of my videos, if you're a paid member and you come in and you clip one of my videos, you better understand that what I'm going to be saying is not nice. And that's the whole reason I put it behind, behind a wall, whatever you want to call it. Because I'm not going to be nice in Nana's After Dark. So think twice before you clip it and put it out there. Because I mean, I'm not going to take no heat for what I say in private, in a private conversation that I'm having between myself and my members. So if you take it and you put it out there, it's on you, is all I can say. Because trust me, I have private opinions about a lot of these cases that I some of them I won't even touch because of my opinion. Like the Chad Dorman case. Won't touch it. I did a video or a couple videos on it, and I won't do no more because my opinion of what may have been taking place does not coincide with what everybody else thinks. And it's going to be hurting some feelings when you find out what I think. Daisy needs to get off true crime. She's not for Summer. She's for Candace, and that's it. Cash App for the Wells. Leroy, say it louder for the ones in the back. What did Leroy say? It's not the YouTube that has destroyed the case. It has been the parents that has done it. Oh, I agree. And I'm not saying YouTube destroyed the case by no means. But I am saying things like what happened last night or today, whatever you want to call it, is part of the problem as far as tips being turned in and what they will believe and what they won't believe is what I'm talking about. Sailor 75, yes, he said it. He also said it was a mistake. Yes, he did. And it wasn't a mistake on Justin's part. It was a misunderstanding on Justin's part. The mistake falls on Daisy's lap. I see you. That is the truth. Dawn and Candace Wells are the ones that has made a mockery of this child. Yes, I agree. Of all her children. Just Samantha. Fake feds, billboard scams, fundraisers, so many lies and rumors, Discord, back chats. It's crazy how much time has been taken away from TBI to deal with all of this. Someone could have acted like Candace too under another name, not taking up for Candace. Right, that's true, but in the end, Candace isn't the one that said it. So we don't have to speculate on that. Justin put it out this morning. Daisy went ahead and put out the audio part of it, showing the whole thing. Absolutely, it was her mistake. It was her doing. In my opinion, the parents haven't been the only problem. Tim's been a problem along with some YouTube creators I refuse to mention have been problems also, right? Well, all I'm here for is the kids. Justin confirmed it though. What do you mean? Hang on, guys. I've got a cement my front door. Hang on. Okay, it was just a ghost. There was nobody there, but I swear I heard somebody knocking. It's clip. Justin said yes, Candace did say that earlier. No, on my panel last night, he said yes. But at that time, all he done was heard the audio from what Daisy said. As soon as Tiffany Marie got a hold of him, he went and looked at the chat, screenshotted it, put it on his community post, and I just showed it to you. It plainly says that, hang on, I just showed it. It plainly says it was not Candace that said her daughter was in heaven. And he tagged Tiffany Marie, me, and Daisy in it. Well, hello, the other Sharon. Welcome, hun. No, that's all I'm here for is the kids. Of course, I'm going to defend people I believe have good intentions who make honest mistakes. As long as they own up to their mistakes, I'll defend them. Which, like I said, Justin was the very first person to come out and say, hey, I found this. This is what was really said. And it wasn't Candace that said it. I agree with you, Nana, about last night at the Daisy said that. Right. Silly us, anyways, to think I can't stand that name, would even say that she missed summer anyway, so there's that, right? I don't know, guys. I just wanted to get on here and say my piece about this and have my opinion, put my 2 cents in. I mean, the biggest words on YouTube right now, or that should be, is misunderstanding, misinformation, miscommunication, mistakes. Is there any misses I'm missing? I mean, before anybody says anything or runs with what they seen, what they heard, whatever, they need to check over all those. Make sure. Now, and I'm not talking about Justin because Justin heard Daisy say it. Daisy should have checked and made sure that she wasn't giving out misinformation. She wasn't making a mistake. Fact, Candace did say summer has passed on Ernie Shell's panel a while back. Well, I don't remember that. I really do wish I could find the one where she told Ernie Shell that her exact words were, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's basically what she said. If I knew where she was at right now, I would go get her. And in the way I hear it in my head, her statement, hello, Chris, is if I knew where they took her to, if I knew where she was at, I would go pick her up and bring her back so all this damn bullshit would just stop because I'm just over it. That's what I heard in my head, hear Candace say that night. But I would love to have that clip. Maybe Daisy did that on purpose. Suddenly Daisy is reporting Candace. Oh, is she reporting Candace for something now? Yes, she needs to be careful how she reads her chat. She does. And the safest way to do that is to click on the comment you're going to read and put it on the screen. Address that comment only and then go to the next. People do need to remember that we are the voices for all the missing children. That's right. Good morning, good night, good afternoon, everyone. Well, good morning, Amy. Is it Amy? It is Amy. Yeah. And again, I don't have my glasses handy, so I don't never keep them handy. I don't know why. They're always somewhere else. Hello, Tom. No, Daisy is trying to get at Justin. Everyone loves Justin. Apparently not Daisy. I don't know why. Thank you so much, lady, for this. I am glad you spoke up. Well, you're welcome, sweetheart. And I mean, right's right. And I don't know if I would consider Justin, I don't know that we're friends, but I do know that I support him, and he always comes in here and supports my channel, even with the big difference. Normally, the bigger channels don't mess with the smaller channels. I don't know why. But Justin does and has always come in my chat and spoke up and talked to people. And I'll be darned if I'm going to sit back and let somebody say that he's done something that he hasn't done. He may be a way bigger channel, but to me, he's a kid. To me, he needs protecting. I mean, he's probably younger than all of my children. And it just really pisses me off that people want to go at him. He's a good-hearted somebody. Daisy needs to do a public correction. This happened on her channel. Right. More than just a speed it up. Because she did put that short out there with the actual audio of what was said. But it was also sped up. But that's all that's there. And it's just it going over and over and over again. Her saying, reading the comment. Before she even started this morning, Daisy said, I'm not going to be nice to Justin anymore. When have you ever been nice to him ever? Well, it's beyond my understanding, but she went over to Prayer Garden's channel and sang for him one night. That was the night I jumped up on Prayer Garden's panel. But I didn't understand why she was so desperate to sing to him when she hollers she don't like him all the time. Daisy knows something. Believe Candace told her, but she's not going to say nothing because she put herself too close to Candace's butt. Well, I've said that too, and I believe I've got a short video out about that. I believe that they told Daisy something, and I also have made the statement that Daisy will wind up in trouble with the law if they have told her. It is against the law to gain knowledge of a crime and not turn it in. Even if you don't know it's 100%. Justin even sent Daisy a $20 Cash App last night. Oh, really? Shh. Some people, and she has to act like that. Daisy does whatever is getting her the most at the time. I don't think she knows anything, in my opinion. Well, she might not. I may be completely wrong. I may be. But from the different things, just like with Dawn and Candace, the things that she says, the way she words things, says that she knows more. I mean, like the statement that she made to Doug about when he was supposedly picking on Candace, which he wasn't, but she said, she was telling him, Dawn knows what Candace did. I mean, he knows how she feels, that she feels the same way about missing the kids as he does. What was the hesitation for? Why'd you correct yourself? Did you slip up and say something you shouldn't have? That's why those times like that is why I believe that Candace may have told her more. Who is Golden? Oh, okay. Thank you. I get it now. Wasn't making sense to me. I'm sorry. TM forgot what she had done once she talked to 423 Chase when he said that Summer was alive and well. TM waited 4 days before she turned it into TBI. Really? Well, I don't know about y'all, but that all sounded like bullcrap to me to start with. They love to pick on each other. All we can do when we make a mistake is take accountability and move on. Exactly, Suzette. I have a very strong feeling she will be getting a visit from TBI soon. Who, Daisy? From Daisy's mouth. If you're not making money on YouTube, what's the point? She's not for Summer at all. Well, let me tell y'all, any donations I get or whatever ad revenue I get is a great help to me because that's what is paying my bills, right? I mean, granted, I don't have a whole lot of bills. I have to pay uh, half the rent and half the lights if I make that much. Most of the time, I don't make half the rent. My son covers the rest of it. Um, I buy groceries. My son supplies me with everything else that I have to have because I don't make that much on YouTube. But if I wasn't making anything on YouTube, if YouTube did not monetize our videos and stuff, I would still be on here fighting for these children. 100%. How many times has Daisy ever got out there and walked a field or street for any child? Well, I can't say that I have either, honey. But it's not for the want. I mean, not because I don't want to, is because I do not have a vehicle or a way to go. And people that take me where I need to go, very few times that I go anywhere, all have jobs and they have to work. So, but right, if Daisy could run to Rogersville for Summer's Day every year, and Daisy can run to across the mountains and to Cherokee Lake and here and there and yon, then yeah, she should be out there looking for these kids, all of them, not just Summer. How many can you find that live right around where Daisy lives that are missing? And from the town that I heard that she lived in, I know there's, hang on a second and I'll check real quick. And heck, if she don't want to go by herself, she don't live far from me. She can come pick me up. I'll go. It don't give it. Oh, well, maybe. Yeah, hang on, right here. Start saying don't give it by the county, but okay. If it's true that the county that she lives in is showing that there's 9 people missing in the county she lives, if that's truly the county she lives in. There's nothing wrong with making money on here. Just be honest about it and not act like a butthole. Haha. Well, I hope I don't act like a butthole about it. I have never made 1 red cent on YouTube yet. I'm here every single day for the victims. Just speaking out for Summer is important, and you have been doing it. I speak out for Summer. I try to speak out for the other kids, but right now I've got a one-track mind, guys. I really do try to include the other children and try to get videos out of them and stuff, but I'm I have tunnel vision. This case is driving us all nuts. I mean, we're all going to need psychological help when this case is solved. I understand making money, but Daisy doesn't do no research at all. That's why Christine is on her panel. Daisy sat in front of the computer watching Justin and PG about it and running her mouth. Well, I'm not going to say that I don't do any research. I do research. I do a lot of research. But my main researchers, I mean, is like Discovering does like tons of my research. But that's because she enjoys doing that. She doesn't feel comfortable getting on panel. She enjoys doing the research. So that's her contribution to this channel. Cursed with Curiosity does a lot of my research. Alpaca Maid does a lot of my research. Dippy does research for me at times. I mean, and not to mention all the emails and, the text messages and stuff I get from the other people, like Rockin' Robin. She sends me stuff. I mean, I can't name them all, guys. I've got like 50 people in my phone from YouTube that I actually talk to one-on-one on the phone. So by no means am I taking credit for all the research. I'm just a mouthpiece. I get the information and I put it out there to you guys. My mind only been on Summer's case for 2 years, right? I gotta go, but y'all try not to let this get to you. Thank you, Nana's Angels. Well, you're welcome, Lady Q, and I appreciate that, hon. Sorry, guys. I was checking my phone to see if my daughter had texted me yet. I will never understand why anybody or anyone by now would not realize that Summer is in heaven. It's wishful thinking, hon. You expect the worst, but you pray and hope for the best. And it helps this case not to drive you so crazy. If you think in the end that there could be a possible good ending. Nobody wants to think of any child being gone. Not especially in whatever way she would have gotten gone in. I mean, you weren't in here last night when I read what those two people did to that little 5-year-old boy and his two siblings. It is sad. The other Sharon, it is sad. Thank you, Alpaca Maid. As upset as people were last night about the comment supposedly by Candace was true, we all need to be prepared because it's coming and we will be devastated. It's very, very sad, and we just want her found, right? We want her found because she deserves to be found. Whatever shape, form, it don't matter, live, past. She deserves to be found and brought back, to know what happened to her, to get the justice for whatever happened to her by the monsters that did it, whoever they are. We also want her found and brought back for our own peace of mind and our peace of heart. Because we are all tired. Emotionally, mentally, physically, we're tired. We want this case to be solved. We want justice for that baby. Didn't mean for it to turn into a preaching session. That should go back to Daisy where it came from. What? Find what highly suspicious. That should go. Yeah, I already read that. I pray Summer's still alive too, honey. %100% pray that she's still alive. She is the one that said, Candace said that. Is that right? Who is the one that said that? Let me go up here and see if I can find your comment before that. I guess not. Anyways, getting on with it. For our own mental health, we will be doing ourselves a great favor by hoping for the best and preparing ourselves to be disappointed. It is not easy, but it is time. Right? I love Summer and I want to find her. We all know that there's more missing children out there in this crazy world. Hope I don't want to disrespect anyone. You're fine, hon. Thank you, Amy, so much. Sorry, guys. I was checking to see. Amy sent me something, and I was checking to see who it was. Thank you so much, hon. It's not asked for, it's not expected, but it is appreciated. Thank you. In my opinion, I don't think you can really prepare for the outcome, even though most of us believe we know and are prepared. In the end, we will be devastated 100%. Did it come from Daisy that Candace said she was in heaven? Yes, it came from Daisy's channel. Daisy was reading comments. The only problem was is she didn't differentiate between who was making what comment. One comment said Candace's name, and then she immediately read a comment from the next person down, which made it sound like she was saying Candace said this. You said it better than I could have. Yeah, she did. She said it really good. Well, hello, Tennessee Blonde. Hope you're having a good day, sweetheart. The commenter's name, whom Daisy read out, is Gail L., not our regular chatter. Gail, a different lady. Right. Yeah, I know. I gotta go, Nana. I'm praying for your daughter. Stay strong, and thank you, Nana and Mods. Well, thank you, Spirit Hunter. I'm glad to see you in here, babe. I haven't seen you in a while. I think in our hearts we all know whom did this. Well, I'm sure we do, honey. And it's sad that we can actually sit here and say that. Know what I mean? Is there any other topic that you all would like to discuss? Has anybody heard anything from Don Wells lately? Do we know if he returned, if he stayed here in Tennessee? I know I've checked Vine Link and he's not in the state of Tennessee in jail anywhere. A real compliment from someone who deals with it daily. I take that too. Hello, Tattooed Rebel. Well, hello, and thank you for stopping by and saying hello. We appreciate that. Did anyone else hear that they have another CPS hearing in August? No, I had not heard that. I wonder what in the world it could be. Is this going to be the final termination of the parental rights, or surely to goodness they're not going to give the kids back to them? They're not even living in the state. And surely to God, they're not going to give the kids back to them when they have to beg for money off of YouTube and the precious people that are on here that can't probably afford to give them money so that they can just make it from day to day because Don don't make enough money. Oh, it burns me up. That wouldn't make sense because they already lost rights. I believe it will be the final termination. I believe Don right back in Arkansas. Well, I know he told me when I talked to him on the phone that day he was headed back there, or trying to get back there, is what he said, trying to come up with the money to get back there. I heard it was the final hearing for the boys. Can't remember what channel it was on. Hello, everybody coming in. Peas in a pod. Hello, sweetheart. Maybe we should show CPS all the donations the Wells have received because they have no money. If there was a way to do that, yeah, actually. If there was a way for me to gather up the proof that they received those donations, I would surely turn it over. I would. And not to try to keep them from getting their boys back, not anything like that. But the simple fact that they are ordered to pay $30 a dang month and they can't even come up with that. They need to have the child support adjusted so that they are actually supposed to pay the real amount that they're supposed to pay. For one child in the state of Tennessee, you're supposed to pay 32% of your paycheck, of your gross income. And then it goes up like 5% or something, maybe 5% per child. I'm not positive on that, but I know it's 32% for one child. According to Mary and Kathy, they're already finalized. The IRS will find it. Yeah, well, the IRS might, but still, it needs to go through the court system where they have to pay it on a monthly basis or a weekly basis, not just once a year. That's all right, because Don's in for a shock. If, plain and simple, he's claiming all these jobs that he's working. He's got this wonderful job in Arizona. Um, does he forget he don't have any kids to claim? And he is a drywaller, which they make fair amount of money. And it's just him and Candace. Guess what? They're not going to be fitting in the right tax bracket. They're going to have to pay money in at the end of the year. You think the farm took a part of the 300? Well, there's no way they could have if they sent it straight to her Cash App. There's no way she could have took it. You doubt the whales worry about the IRS? Well, they better worry about them. Peas in a pod. Oh, good point. I didn't think about that part. What'd peas in a pod say? Even if their finalized papers have to be signed in court upon an adoption, both parties have to appear to sign at different times usually. Um, the donations would show they did at least half $30. They would at least have $30, right? That's what I took away from the garbled video of Candace recently. Thank you, Discovering. Oh, Seek here. Thank you. I didn't even see it, sweetheart. It's the same color blue as when I click on a comment. So I was just thinking it was just another comment. Thank you so much, Seek here. I appreciate that, hon. Much love to you and respect and appreciation. Not counting money Candace getting at the P.O. box, right? I'm glad you could understand some of it. I couldn't even understand the one where Nana adjusted to help hear it. Yeah, I mean, that was a piece of work, I'm telling you. And everybody says that there's like 3 or 4 of them out there where they actually cut out the background noise or most of the background noise and you can hear it better. I've not even seen one of those yet. That's how it was over 50 years ago when I was adopted, and recently with a family member who adopted a child too. Both were in CPS care. Nana, you had your work cut out for you on that interpretation. Yeah, yeah. And I'm sorry I didn't help much more than what I did. But what I was trying to actually do, not that I thought I could actually understand it, but I figured if I could raise the volume up, then maybe somebody else could make out something on it. It didn't obviously didn't help much from what I heard from everybody, but I tried. Okay, money from the farm cash app. Part of it goes to Daisy. That seems kind of weird. Yeah, if it's Candace's cash app, then all of it would go to Candace. Candace would be the only one with access to it. Unless Daisy applied for one in Candace's name. Nana's awesome merch. Oh, thank you, Discovering. Peas in the pod, I think that's still correct. I've had friends adopt from DCFS, and I remember them having to do that too. Nana, I'm still baffled about the homeless family supposedly missing and the picture of people coming in and out of that hotel room. Hold up. Which missing family, honey? The homeless family supposedly missing. I've slept in the last few days, sweetheart. You're going to have to remind me. Huh. The pictures of the people coming in and out on Candace's hotel room. Hope you are having a good day. I am, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Or maybe Candace agreed to give a portion to the farm in order for her to go on channel and solicit money. Now that's a possibility. Not trying to be disrespectful, but I would love to know how much money they have collected in 2 years off of Cash App. Just saying, right? That's what I'm saying, Lorraine. That's if I had the ability to find that out, I would turn it over to the Department of Human Services, Children's Services. The lady that got the donated tents from Justin. Oh, I don't know, but I did hear the other day, honey, that Candace gave those 2 tents away because Justin was asking about it. And somebody in chat said that they believe that Candace gave the tents away, or Justin said that one. The ones that Candace was allegedly helping, but never would show receipts, right? In truth, I didn't either. Listen to several versions. I had to ask myself as a mother what would defeat me so thoroughly. Getting news of the signature hearing from my absent husband for sure. That makes sense. That makes complete sense. That's probably what she was crying about the other day. That's probably what she was saying she don't know why he went back there for. Probably why she was saying it was heartbreaking and that she was going to hear something later. You think the homeless family was a scam and they were staying in a room there? It does make sense. Yeah, the family that Justin donated the tents to. Maybe she's talking about the homeless family that was living on the streets at the motel they were staying at. The one, yeah, I know. Yeah. Oops. I did not mean to block. Okay, I didn't block you. I almost blocked you. Sorry. I've got to click from the other side of the screen so I don't block people. None of this is just for you. An enlarged heart can be reversed once the cause is found and they treat the underlying cause. Thank you, Seek Care. I sure hope so, sweetie. My daughter has been through pure hell. In her entire lifetime, she's been through hell. And this is just not something that she needs on top of everything else. The money grabbing's got to stop, yeah. Oh, you're fine. I love you discovering. Well, if Candace said it must be a crock of poop. Maybe people are trying to start more rumors. What indication is there? Daisy is getting money off Candace. Well, I mean, it would make sense. Why else, I think she returned these tents to the store and got the money back. That family was going up and down the stairs at the hotel. If they didn't have a room, why are they going up and down the stairs? Good question. Nonna, do you need a time out for blocking people? I can't take your wrench. Go ahead, time me out. Time me out, Discovering. Go ahead, do it. And then you can get your butt up here and do the talking. Thank you, Spirit Mist. I appreciate that, hon. It says many prayers for your daughter, Nonna. Praying for your daughter, my sweet friend. Thank you, Trev. Thank you so much, hon. Trust me, can never be too small amount of prayers. All prayers are welcome. By me, by my daughter, by my grandkids, trust me, prayers are welcome. There was a lot of sus behavior with that whole homeless situation. Thank you, Rihanna. Praying for you too, Trevor. Yeah, that's what I thought, Discovering. Nana, oh, never mind. I'll let you slide this time. Yeah, I bet you will. Knowing what you're going to have to do if you ban me. Somebody's got to run the channel. It might be my channel and your channel and everybody else's channel, but somebody's got to run it. You can ban me. I don't have a problem with that, but you better be getting ready to put your butt up here. Prayer is powerful. Thank you. Praying for Trevor. Yes. The burn barrel has it all cleared up so you can hear more about it. I would like to hear it. I'll probably go over and check it out. The homeless woman always appeared from the story above Dawn and Candace. Well, let me give you all a little piece of advice. Whenever you're giving a gift to someone that you suspect could be an addict of any sorts, no matter what the reason that they want the money, if you want to buy them a gift, go to a secondhand store and buy it. Never, ever, ever buy them new products from the store. Never leave price tags on it if you do. Never give them the receipt. But your best bet is either always make sure and give them something handmade or buy it from a secondhand store. Because I will guarantee you, anything that you purchase with your hard-earned money and send with your warm, loving heart to try to benefit an addict, they will take it back to the store and they will get the money back. And I'm not trying to bash anybody. Being an addict is a sickness. I'm going to say this, and I don't want people to freak out on me, but it's not a crime. It is a sickness, just like diabetes and everything else. When they first start doing the drugs, yes, they could have stopped. They could have controlled it by then. But once your body is used to that chemical being in your system, it becomes a sickness. And without that extra chemical in your body, you feel like you are dying. Literally, you think you're going to lay down and die. And in some cases, people do. DTs from any, whether it's alcohol, drugs, whatever, sometimes in some cases can be fatal. It can cause heart attacks. It can cause your lungs to collapse. There's different things. I mean, I may be speaking out of turn here, but I'm telling you what I know, what I've been taught. I kept asking Ziggy V to go up on PG's panel to let us know about her and the FBI and what else if they contacted her. She runs off when I tag her. What is up with that, Ziggy V? Nana, it is rampant everywhere. It's so sad. It is 100%. It's sad. And like I said, I'm not bashing people because in my own family, I've got one or two. I know like tons of people in Cott County that are addicts. And at the beginning, yeah, they're like, oh yeah, this is party time. We're gonna have a great time until they get addicted. And trust me, guys, once they're addicted, they are some of the saddest people you would want to meet. Mentally heartbroken, sad people. They do not want to be addicts. If you are a smoker and you have ever tried to quit smoking, you know how hard that is. Now imagine if it put your body through pain, throwing up, having to run to the bathroom every 5 seconds, and sometimes you don't make it. You literally, your body is telling you you are dying. Now, if you can't quit smoking, imagine what that is doing to the addicts. That's why it's so hard for them to quit. And I'm not taking up for anybody, but I'm telling you, I'm not bashing nobody either. I've sat and watched people go through it, and it's horrible. And once an addict, always an addict. You don't get cured. I have friends who passed by 40 from abusing alcohol all their life. Livers quit working. Yeah. It is hard to quit smoking. And you go into withdrawal from the nicotine and whatever other chemicals they put in cigarettes. But that's just your nerves and your brain telling you, I can't do this. I've got to have a cigarette. I've got to have a cigarette. Imagine if it was your whole body tying up in knots, your muscles, your bones aching. You can barely move because you're throwing up so much. You're sweating from head to toe. Like drenching your clothes constantly. It's bad, guys. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I had ever, or if I was to ever get hooked on something, if I would have the willpower to quit it. But you know what keeps me from doing anything like that? And I'm not saying I'm any better than anybody else. The simple fact that I had my children that I had to take care of. And once my children were grown and started having kids, the thought of, oh Lord, I can't do anything like that. What happens if something happens to one of my kids and I have to take my grandchildren? My kids, my children, my grandchildren literally are my life. They are my lifeline. And I thank the Lord for them every day, even though sometimes I could pinch the teenagers' heads off. Lord, forgive me for saying that, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm 7 years sober from alcohol, and it was a tough road, but worth it. Yes, it is totally worth it. Yes, they can. They can. But that's just long enough to get you through the first few days. But it doesn't help for the next week or so. And then you have to, really pull your big girl panties up or your big boy panties up, and because then it's your willpower. My 22-year-old patient who died only drank beer. Yep, it is just one day at a time. Can't find that Gail person anywhere. In my opinion, it's a made up name. Was it someone in Crazy Daisy's chat, or the one person who called TBI? Justin is not at fault here. Leads of Loads of creators thought it was real. Yeah. Congratulations to those of you strong souls that fought and won on your addiction. Yes, absolutely. Very proud of you, and God bless you. And I'm glad that you found something that was worth fighting for, although your life should have been enough to keep you fighting. But whatever you found that got you over that and it helps keep you going every day and not giving in, I'm glad you found it. If you are in need of help for anything, dial 988 or go to 988feline.org, free of charge. Someone is there 24/7, 365. My daughter died from drinking vodka. She went to bed and didn't wake up. She was only 27, ethanol coma on death certificate. Oh, honey, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I had her as a patient every time she came in, and we gave her loads of Valium, Ativan, and fluids. However, her liver was toast, and we couldn't save her. This whole thing is just horrible. Nana the farm got on a real roll last night. She called her only sister every name in the book. Filthy names. Then she come back and says several times, Smiley is burning Dawn's phone up. Well, I wonder why Smiley's burning Dawn's phone up. I mean, why ain't he answering? He answers when I call him. Gail was not a made up person. I have the screenshot from Michelle After Dark's comment section. Michelle showed the short from Daisy's channel this morning. Honey, just because somebody's in the chat don't mean it's made up, or don't mean that it's not made up. They're saying you can create two or three names on channels, YouTube names, YouTube ID things under the same person, and one of them is just a fake one that you use and then you get rid of it. Like the my other channel that I have, Nana's Place. Okay, it's been Nana's Place for over a year now. When I get ready to do Nana's After Dark, all I'm going to have to do is go in there and change it to Nana's After Dark, or delete it and then make another one that says Nana's After Dark, and then that name won't show up no more. Oh, she wasn't calling Dawn's phone. She really showed her ass for real. Well, I wish somebody that had recorded it and put it out there because I'd love to see it. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. They're called peekaboo IDs. You create them so that you can peek in on somebody's chat and nobody knows that's who you are. And then when you're done, you just delete it. Peekaboo chats or peekaboo IDs. I'm so sorry that you have to go through that. Al Anon can be a great support for friends and family of addicts. Not a screenshot shows the live comments. I know, honey. I'm not saying that that person didn't comment, but say like, not that I did it. I didn't do it. Okay, I didn't. I can go and create another ID on YouTube besides Nana's Angels, besides Nana's Place, and I can put your name and your picture on it, or I can put Joe Blow's name on it with a picture of an alligator. Go into somebody's chat, make a comment, and then when I stop commenting on that chat and I leave, all I have to do is delete that ID and it's gone. And nobody will ever know that it was me. That's what they're meaning. They're not saying that it's just a fake ID, not a fake person. Justin has, well, yeah, but I don't have any way to get a hold of Justin. The only way I know to get a hold of Justin is when he pops into my chat. I think there should be a creator's yellow pages somewhere. So that creators can get a hold of other creators. When they need to. Yeah, fake profiles. That's the word I was trying to think of. My niece passed 2 years ago from pain pills, and when the pills didn't help, she went to alcohol, and the combination of both took her out. I'm so sorry, Lorraine. Whoever Gail L is, she made the comment. Right, I know. We're not saying that they wasn't a real person or that it wasn't a real comment. Why was TM insisting that TBI be notified? They've been saying she's not alive for a long time. I don't know. I guess because where all this time Candace has been very adamant about Summer was still alive, and then all of a sudden, had it have been real, nobody's saying that it was real now, but had it have been real that she had said that, that would be out of the norm, something new that popped up. Then she was finally admitting that she wasn't alive. And I guess she felt that needed to be reported. Nana, why are you gotta involve Alpaca, a Joe Blow? You trying to throw them under the bus with everybody Don and Fred threw under the bus? Is there a party under the bus? I'm not invited. Oh, jeez. Discovering. Hey, I was right there with them now. Come on. I was with Alpaca. And actually, it was me. It was me discovering. It wasn't Alpaca and it wasn't Joe Blow. It was me. And trust me, I ain't under the bus with no Don Wells or Fred Hill, especially not having no party. So now, if you want to go crawl under that bus with them, you go right ahead. I don't either. I love Smiley. That farm channel needs to go. Needs gone. She made atheist remarks and filthy cussing half the night. Bet that was stopped, not stepped, sorry. Bet, what's going on, honey? Why do you need prayers? Sorry to hear that. I went through that with one of my sons who stepped after kids, wife, and business success. Al Anon helped. Oh, okay, I understand now. Discovering the truth. Tim Mullins would be able to answer that one. Y'all got jokes today. Love it. Well, we try. Every once in a while, when you get so down, the only place to go is up. And the only way to get there is to fake it until you make it. And if you can smile about something, anything, it helps you get you there. I know a lot of people were offended and reported it. That's what I said. I'm sure over a half a dozen people at least reported it. There's no chips or beverage under this bus. Not much of a party here. Well, ladies, I don't know what to tell you. Tell Fred to go out in the back shed and grab a bottle of that moonshine. I know he's got some stashed out there somewhere. But you better make sure it's the moonshine. Lord, ladies and gentlemen, sorry. I don't know about all this. I know a lot of people think that it don't affect the creators that we get on here and we just run our mouth and we just, throw out theories and accusations and all this is what we feel. We do not, or I do not get on here and just throw out accusations and theories and stuff without sitting and taking into serious consideration what I'm saying. But let me tell y'all something. Mentally and physically and emotionally, it drains somebody to constantly be thinking about this stuff. I don't know about everybody else, but literally, these children on YouTube that are missing, that are lost, they're hurt, they're AR'd, they're essayed, they're red rummed, they're sold, traded. It's really taking a toll on me because that's all I think about morning, noon, and night. Constantly. Sunday morning, yesterday morning, and Saturday night, I won't say Saturday night because I only count one episode, but Sunday morning, I spent yesterday. No, I'm not watching YouTube, period. And I went and binge watched a season of one of my favorite shows just to try to get a break from it, to let my mind rest. And then what makes it worse is you've got all these teenage kids out here, that's your children or your grandchildren, and you are hearing all this stuff day in and day out of all the horrible things that can happen. And then you have to watch your grandkids walk out the door. Sorry. Thank you, Spirit Mist. I say all the time that I gotta laugh to keep from crying. Sorry, y'all. I'm a Southern girl with a rough life. So if I don't laugh and joke, I go nuts. Just keep God close and keep talking to all of us. I'm trying, darling. Sweet magnolias. Yes, that's what. Yeah, that's what I binge watched yesterday morning. It sure was. I'd already watched the first two seasons. And I so wish that I had two good friends that live nearby me that I could depend on like that. And yes, discovering I know you were there, and Dippy and Kirst and everybody, Robin, everybody else that's there for me. Anytime I call them, I know that. But I'm just saying, I wished even my best friend that I've had since second grade, guys, she lives two towns over from me, and I can't get to her when I need, I just wish I had a friendship like those ladies on that TV show has. None of your fellowship and this chat is healthy for my soul. Well, I'm so glad, Spirit. Laughter and humor is free and relieves stress. Yeah. None. Nana, don't cry. I'm gonna cry. If I cry, my son's gonna flip out and attack me. He don't handle emotions very well. Well, we don't want him attacking you. And for anybody that's in here that don't understand that statement, her son is autistic. He's 16 and he's bigger than she is, and he doesn't handle emotions. They upset him and they make him go off. And her being mom, she tries to stop it so he doesn't hurt himself, which means she gets in the way. I've noticed that teachers and nurses tend to have a dark sense of humor. Hats or haha, we have too. You have to stop and watch a movie. Yeah. I will be everyone's friend that needs one. I'm here. Thank you. That's also something else that we probably need to do. I don't know how in the heck I would go about doing it, but we need to start some kind of a circle for Nana's Angels for people who just need a shoulder to lean on. You check in and say, hey, I'm here, I'm doing good. If somebody needs to talk, or a shoulder, or dry pocket, whatever, dry shirt, dry collar, sleeve, whatever the saying is, and then if somebody is in need of somebody to talk to, they can go to that circle and pick a name out and talk to the person, you know because trust me, I know families don't like talking about all this. You start squalling to your families about all this stuff, and they'll say, well, just quit watching the stuff. Good grief. uh, yeah, that ain't happening. I'm hoping there's a season for we all crave friendships like that. Yes, we do. You are not alone with that. Discovering the truth. I've had several students over the years that deal that way. Love and hugs to you. Anyways, if anybody is computer literate enough to know how we would go about uh, uh, forming a circle, I guess is what you would call it, or maybe putting it in, do it as a Facebook thing under Nana's Angels, you know. You but make it closed, but only for, people that need somebody to talk. Well, I don't know how you do that. Make it closed. Y'all understand what I'm saying. My sense of humor comes from an abusive childhood with a father who was abusive in every way possible. He was a preacher, by the way, which is also where my trust issues come from. Well, first and foremost, honey, he was your father. That's where the trust issues should come from. You not specifically, totally, 100% believing in God is where the preacher part comes in. I am taking care of a forever child. He's my whole world, but I feel alone a lot. Sounds like my husband. Just don't listen, don't watch, don't think about it. Yeah. Well, I don't have a husband, so it's my kids, basically my brothers, my sister. That's a good idea, Nona. I hate bothering my family when I'm feeling low. Exactly. You could always come. If we could figure this out, come and pluck somebody and say, hey, are you busy? I really need a shoulder, or I really need a friend to talk to. I mean, it don't mean you have to be friends for here till the end of doomsday or whatever. Just at the moment, just to talk about something that you both have in common, to cry it out, to know that somebody is listening to you. True crime genre is one of 2 or 3 that have these problems. My DIY viewers never behave like lunatics, such quiet, sweet people. Well, hey, I didn't think I acted like a lunatic, and I didn't think that the viewers in here acted like lunatics. Now, I know I'm not crazy. I know that the 6,000 something viewers or subscribers that I've got now, which there's more viewers, I'm sure, than that. I'm not saying that they couldn't go to 100 other channels and sub to them, and I don't know how they act over there. But the people, for the most part, that come into my chat, these are very decent, kind people, respectful, and they do not act like lunatics, for the most part, save Dippy and Discovering. Yeah. Oh, I didn't say that. I did not say that out loud, Discovering. You didn't hear me say that. Justin deleted his, so did the farm channel. Justin did for feelings for the fam, or for the farm. He has such a big heart. Jinkies didn't good for her. Daisy's evil. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have deleted it. I wouldn't have took it down. I mean, I know he wouldn't want to get struck, and she would have probably tried to strike him for it, but I wouldn't have done it. You have to just leave it for a few days and take a break from it, Nana. Nothing wrong with that. I will keep you in my prayers. Thank you, Lorraine. I might be a little crazy, but I don't believe I'm a lunatic yet. Just give it time, because I'm alone entirely too much. That didn't sound creepy to you guys. Y'all don't think she's a lunatic? Oh, Lord. I'll pray for you. And if y'all don't think she's a lunatic, because trust me, I talk to her every day. This woman's a lunatic. She's a lunatic. But, it takes one to know one. I give her that. It takes one to know one. But this is disgusting behavior on Summer's case. These people need to stop. Daisy needs some harsh discipline from YouTube. Not yet. I know, Discovering. I know you're not. Not yet. Give it a few more months with you associating with me and Dippy, and you will be. Yeah, I know. 9 hours long. I heard that. 9 hours long. That's ridiculous. Now, but I can't say much. I have had one that went 8 hours, but that was not because of me. That was Scott H. Totally. Daisy is evil and disrespectful to the people that go on her channel and in her chat. Well, I'm not wanting to gossip, but I also don't want to speak wrongly. I have heard in the past that the reason that Daisy allowed Sherry up on her panel so much was because Sherry had donated so much money to Daisy. And that's why they allowed Sherry to come up on panel. They just turned her volume down and wouldn't hear anything she had to say. Is that true? Because I don't know if it is or not. That's just what I heard. And if it's true, how in the world could you take money from an elderly lady, act like you're her friend, and then disrespect them like that? Even if she wasn't her friend, take money from an elderly person and then disrespect them like that. The crazy will happen within every group of people at one time or another. I was a mod on old school forums back in the day. YouTube is just another outlet for it. Nana, if we don't make it past 1 hour of school this year, I might be a lunatic before the end of the school year. True. Guys, it's coming up on 2 hours. I didn't even realize that. That lady needs prayers and exorcism. Yeah. She was ranting for 8 hours. What the? Nana, do you have a P.O. box? I want to send you something from England. No, sweetheart, I do not have a P.O. box. But I can give you an address to send it to that is safe. Well, see, just, can you email me? And I will give you a safe address to send it to. Hang on, and I'll put my email address out there. What is going on? Okay. Nana, no, it's not. You got time blindness. Discovering. There you go, honey. If you will, Mimi T, if you'll just email me, I will give you a safe address that you can send it to. Daisy's in chat. Where's she at? Well, I don't see her, guys. Daisy, I can. Oh, there you are. I have been posting farm videos all day. I have nothing to do with this mess. Did somebody did Daisy? There's the link if you want to come up on panel. Hey, good one, Daisy Cow. You are the hater. Shame on you for attacking your own sister. Okay, listen, guys. If Daisy comes up on panel, we're not going to have any talk like that for the moment. We will show a panel guest respect, no matter how we feel. If you expect to receive respect, you have to give respect. So if you want her to come up here and talk to us, then you have to show a little bit of respect. Daisy, I dropped the link for you. You're more than welcome to come up. Nobody's going to attack you. Thank you. See, they said they will behave. Chat calls are good for friends to come together and talk about anything. Okay, guys, show respect like I asked. Hey, Daisy.
Hey,
Okay. What, I mean, where would you like to start?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I thought, me and Justin was on good terms. That's why I took down that video last night because I'm tired of the fussing. That's why the video is in um private.
Right. But then, of course, the misunderstanding happened.
Yeah, I had no idea about that. I was asleep last night.
Well, no. It was because you didn't put the comments up on your screen, or you didn't say the name of the person in that was making the comment. It turned out to sound like you said Candace said that you need to spend time with your kids because her daughter was in heaven.
Yeah, I seen that last night when Justin did his short and I fixed it and put out a short to
Yeah, I seen
show.
that.
Yeah. I would unprivate the video, but it's got a lot of mean stuff in it, so I don't want to put it back out.
Well, I mean, I understand that. I mean, I'm not lying by no means. I just said a while ago, I'd love to see it because I've never seen you and Jinkies go at it. Every time you go at it, I have not seen it.
Oh, this one was bad.
I don't get to see any of them. I miss them. So,
Well, hopefully there won't be no more. But the fact of the matter is that no, I don't use Auntie Sherry for anything other than Auntie Sherry. You know that we can't control when people gives cash apps. I've
yeah,
told her 1,000 times, don't give cash apps. She does anyway. But the thing is, Auntie Sherry goes from chat to chat, and yeah, it's not good to do that. I still love Auntie Sherry. It's just not good. Auntie Sherry, to keep from kicking her off panel or being mean to her, I just turn her down because she can't hear. And so she
right.
talks a lot and she talks over everyone.
Well,
I'm not trying to be rude to her or mean. She just can't hear.
right. But wouldn't it just be? easier if you just don't bring her up on panel?
Then her feelings would be hurt.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to argue with you, Daisy. I'm not.
Who
I'm
is over
not.
here with us?
But she was over here last night and she said that you had called her something. What was, I don't remember exactly what she said you called her.
Auntie
Um,
Sherry.
yes, and that you had kicked her off panel.
I never kicked her off panel. She's not. She didn't. I. She didn't say that because I never put. I never kicked her off panel, and
Oh,
she knows
she
it.
did come over and say that.
Well, she knows I didn't kick her off panel. I did. I did tell her that I wouldn't let her back up no more until we get this straightened out. What's going on with me and my sister and her boyfriend? But I don't understand all the hate because of what I'm friends with Don and Candace. Is that why? It's more than just hate. It's vicious hate, vicious hate.
Well, Daisy, I have never tried to keep. I do not hate you because you're friends with them. Everybody needs a friend. The only thing I have ever had a real problem about is,
Hmm.
in my opinion, the way that you and Christine and Jinkies at times, Sherry, when Candace is over there, in my opinion, y'all talk to her like she's a 8-year-old little girl.
No, she's our friend.
To
We kid
me,
around all the time.
well, I know that, but y'all are talking to her like, we love our little can, and you.
Yeah, we
She's a
do.
grown woman with 7 children.
We do love her, and we talk to her behind the scenes just like that. We're friends with her. She's
Well,
broke.
I'm
She's a
not saying that
broken
you don't
lady.
talk to her like that behind the scenes. I'm just saying I I personally think that she deserves enough respect to be talked to like she's an adult.
She likes us to call her Can Can. That's what she's told us before. When people had problems with it, she said, I like for you to call me Can Can. There's nothing wrong with that. If you knew who she was, then you would understand. If you knew the Candace that we know that I know, then you would understand who she really is. I've seen the crying Candace. I've seen the Candace that said, I've I've been angry at God. I've asked God why did this happen? Why hasn't Summer found? I've seen her bawl her eyes out and say that before. A lot of y'all don't see that's what we see, but I have. And I
And
honestly, Nana, I honestly believe that somebody came up there and took that child. Honestly. I know that it don't look good, but I know what I've talked to behind the scenes, and I've been straight up with Donna Candace both. And she just no, she doesn't. She's even told me that she don't want because Don was wanting to bring his grandbabies down here. He's trying to get
yeah,
his daughter to come down here and stay with them because he thinks she would do better here,
yeah,
but she don't want to. And Candace said, "No, I don't want her to because I'm afraid for those kids." She said, "If I get my boys back, I'm not even going to leave them up there because she's terrified that somebody's going to come up there and take them or one of Don's grandbabies like they did Summer." That's what she told me.
well, and I'm sure that is what she told you. I trust that you're saying that's what she told you,
Hmm.
and I'm not trying to.
Hmm.
Okay, whether it was Don and Candace or Joe Blow down the street, if
Yeah.
by chance they were guilty of something,
Yeah.
you really wouldn't expect them to tell you anything different than that, though, would you?
No, I wouldn't, but when you got discernment, God gives us all discernment. And when a mom looks at you in the eyes and tells you something, you can feel it. You can feel that she's being honest about it. And I have felt that. I feel like somebody in that neighborhood took that child. And I
Well,
think
now,
there's more than
see, that's more believable, Daisy.
uh
If
huh,
if everybody that keeps hollering, "Oh, I think she was," if they would say, "I think maybe somebody in the neighborhood took her,"
uh
that's
huh,
a whole lot more believable than somebody from town driving all that way in the middle of summer when the foliage is out and you can't even see the house, let alone know
right,
that there's one up there. I mean, it's hard for anybody to believe that they saw the house, knew that there could be possibly children in the house,
yeah,
knew that Summer was in the basement, and climbed that mountain and went and got her. I mean, but if
yeah.
it was somebody from the neighborhood,
I think
that's
it
more
was.
believable.
I think well, there's several people, but I believe that Fred Hill knows more. He wouldn't have. He's involved himself in this case, and him for him to come on and say what he said about Summer, I think there's more to it. I think that if he's not involved, he knows who's involved in it.
Okay. But you also have to remember if you're basing it on Fred Hill came in and said what he said about Summer,
Hmm.
look at all the different things that Dawn has said about Summer. He'll see her in the resurrection. She's fish
Yeah,
food. You know, she's in a motel room being sold.
I know, and I told him not to let that devil get to his mind like that because every bit of that's gone through his mind. He's tormented. His
But what
mind is tormented. Yeah,
I agree. Okay, but what I'm saying is you think that Fred had something to do with it because of what he said, but you're
yeah.
not taking into consideration that Don could have had something to do with it because of what he said.
Well, I think if Don and Candace had something to do with it, they would have already arrested Don and Candace. And I know that Don says stuff off the wall, but you have to see he's had a lot of trauma himself growing up. So of course he's going to go to the worst scenario, the worst case scenario where Candace won't let herself go there. She doesn't let herself go to that. She still says she feels like Summer's alive, and I think that's her protection, um, a way of protecting her heart,
Yeah.
and she don't want a lot of stuff out because she don't want to mess the case up, like what she feels and who she feels might have took Summer. But I wish that law enforcement would look into more than what Fred said, and I wish that they would give some pollies. I really do, and go back over people's property with the cadaver dogs for sure.
Well, you're
Just
talking about the polygraphs. I've had to take two polygraphs in my lifetime, so I know the procedures of them.
uh huh.
And I'm telling you, I have never known of law enforcement, TBI specifically, because TBI is the one that has to give them in the state of Tennessee,
Yeah,
um, to give multiples until somebody passes them.
yeah. You think
No,
is that what they do?
no, they don't do that.
Oh, they don't. Okay,
No, you got one shot to get it right or fail it.
okay.
But Dawn and Candace, what? Dawn had two, Candace had two, and they wanted her to do a third one.
Do we know that for sure though?
That's
We
what
got
came
to
out
know.
of Dawn's mouth.
Is
So,
that what Don said?
yes, ma'am. So you have to take creed in how much you trust what Dawn and Candace say.
I don't know. I've never heard him tell me that, but I don't know. I feel like I feel like it might have been a little longer than what Candace said, more than 2 minutes. I think it might have been maybe 15, 20 minutes that she went out that back door because just like they both said, you know, especially Don said that, the boys seen it. You think that they wouldn't have already told?
Right.
And EquuSearch said 18 seconds after a person passes away that scent is picked up.
Well,
And
not always. It does. It's determined on the weather and the conditions and stuff, and it will tell you that.
I understand. So do you think that they would not have picked up a deceased child if on that hill, or they have been over that hill on that hill so many times? Don and Candace has told me so many times they can't even count. Um, they've been up on that mountain searching. So surely they would pick up something if Summer would have passed away in those vehicles or on that hill. It just don't add up. And just what Candace says, like one day they're gonna know the truth. They're gonna find out that I didn't have anything to do with it and that, somebody come up there and took her. I know that she's just a very private person, Nana.
Yeah.
That's what she is. She's a private person.
Uh,
And hang on.
can I ask you just a couple questions that I've been
Yeah,
asked
yeah,
to
yeah,
ask you?
yeah.
Okay. One is people are wondering, okay, when somebody, and I do understand if they're getting rude, crude, disrespectful, whatever, but
Yeah.
that takes a time or two. But people are wondering why, when they ask a question, like if Candace is on panel or whatever, they
Mhm.
ask a question about Summer, you have your mods immediately block them.
If they come in being rude, saying that she's a child killer, or if she's, just being rude, I don't have my mods to block them if they want to ask her a question. No, she can. I mean, she's got her own ranch, but she's actually answered a lot of questions for people.
Okay.
And Nana,
Yeah.
remember, Doug had his opportunity. I've let people up there on the panel to ask her questions, but they want to come after her like he came at her like, wow, and I don't blame her. I mean, if you're gonna ask a question, be respectful. Don't come at people like
I,
that.
I I try to be respectful. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
you've listened to my interviews with Dawn or my interview with Dawn, or even just on the phone with Dawn.
yeah,
I mean, I try not to be disrespectful.
yeah.
Everybody deserves respect.
Everybody does, yes.
Um,
But no, I mean, people wanted to know what Summer ate that day, and I asked her, and I got the answer for people. She's answered questions that people wanted to know. Um, I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
understand the attack.
but you also have to remember that was after she was asked on another. Well, she wasn't technically asked, but everybody could hear what she was saying.
Uh-huh.
Dawn was asked to ask her, what did the kids eat that day? And she openly refused to even say.
Well, she answered for me,
Right. But I'm just saying that's
and I
what
think it
causes
might
a
have
lot
been
of problems is because,
that
uh,
might have been on Prayer Garden's channel, and you know that her and Prayer Garden don't get along. Prayer Garden said some pretty mean stuff, so I can understand why she wouldn't answer questions for
right.
PG.
Okay. Your opinion about, and I'm not trying to get you to bash nobody. I want your honest opinion. You're a content creator and you have met them and talked with them.
Yeah.
Don, where it is alleged, and we can't even say alleged because Don has admitted to it, where he touched his stepsister and then said that it was her fault at a 5-year old. What is your thoughts on that? Honestly, as a female, as somebody who has raised children, girls to be specific, what would
On
you?
Is it Mary that you're talking about?
No, Mary's not the one that he was doing that to at 5 years old. Mary was when she was 13.
And
Mary's the
he
same
was
age as
12.
Dawn. Um, not Trisha. Trisha's her daughter. What is her name? Jeannie.
Well, I don't think it's
Jeannie.
right. I don't think it's right, but he also was a child too.
He
So,
was 12. He was 12, honey.
yeah, he was 12, but he was a child still. It's not right. Absolutely not right at all. But you know that kids do things. That's what happens sometimes.
Right, right.
I don't know. We don't know the whole story about that. I don't know the whole story about that, but
Well,
I do
I'm
think
just
that
going
that
on
should
what
have.
I'm going on what Don himself has said, which was he was 12 and she was 5, and he blamed it all on her and said she was trying to take advantage of him, that she was the one trying to abuse him. She
I don't think
initiated it.
I don't think a 5-year old could do that, but you know, he was also a 12-year-old kid,
Right.
and you
So
know,
so
I
if
don't think
we
that it was wrong. I do think it was absolutely wrong.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I started to say because I mean, if you think about it, I don't want to say the kids, the Wells kids, but if you think about it nowadays, if you were foster, because you said you were a foster parent at some point.
Yeah, well, I was
Okay,
drug. Had a 17-year-old put his hand around my mouth and dragged me into a building and molested me at 5. And my grandma kept walking. I was 3 feet behind her. She never knew he took me.
okay. So if that was a 12-year-old who done the same thing, would you still have said it? He's just a kid.
Probably not. I'd probably still feel the same. But it would have. I'm not making excuses for Dawn on that part.
Right.
I'm absolutely not.
Oh well,
I
somebody just asked me to ask you. I was just
Yeah.
asking your opinion
No,
about it.
it happens. It happens. A child's still a victim either way. You know what I'm saying? No matter
Yes.
who it is that does it. And no, there's no excuse for that. No, absolutely not. I totally don't think there's an excuse because I still to this day haven't confronted my perpetrator, and so it's affected me a lot. I
So,
don't let kids walk behind me when I go anywhere because of it. And just yeah, it's traumatic. Absolutely traumatic.
well, hello, Justin. I didn't see you in chat. Um, it just my brain just shut off. I was fixing to ask you something.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I can't think of what it was now.
But Nana, I feel like that case clouded Summer's case. That should have been brought up before Summer went missing, and I feel
Now
like it.
hold up. I do agree that when Don had his first daughter, it should have been brought up, but it wasn't. And there's a lot of women out there that can testify that the reason that kind of stuff doesn't come out until you're later in life is because your own screwed up mind. We can't say that it's a lie just because they waited so
Oh
long to
no,
do
no,
it.
I'm not saying it's a lie.
But the plain and simple fact is, I can't sit here and say that it clouded Summer's case because if you have a man, that's the whole reason for a registry. That's the whole reason, is so that people are aware that this kind of stuff has happened in the past. Now, had his sisters not come out and told it, TBI nor local law enforcement, none of them would have known anything
No,
about it.
no, no. I think they should have. I
And
just
they
think it
wouldn't have
was
looked at
handled
the
different.
case the way they do.
Yeah, but see, that clouds a lot of people's minds to thinking that, oh, well, Dawn automatically did something to Summer when it could have very well been somebody else that come up there and took Summer. I mean, I truly believe, honestly, in my heart, I believe that somebody kidnapped that baby. I believe somebody was watching her. I think they took a crime of opportunity and took her. Now, I can am I could I be wrong? I could absolutely be wrong. But in my heart at this moment, I feel like that somebody took her. That the boys were there. Listen, Josie's what? 13, 14. He
Well, yeah,
knows.
he's going on 15 now.
It's been 2 years. If it was anything different than what Candace said, them boys would have already told.
But Daisy, you got to remember in the West case, it took those boys 14 months to talk.
Yeah, but it's been what? It's been that and so much more. And Josie's a bigger boy. The kids are bigger. They're older
Right,
now.
right. Okay. In the Joe Clyde Daniels case, that happened in 2018 in April. That man didn't go to court until June 2021. And that's when the older brother, who was 8 at the time that it happened, he was 11 when he went to court. That's when he testified. Nobody knew anything about him talking until it went to court.
Well, actually, none of us really know what the TBI knows. We don't know. Any of us
Right. Oh,
does.
I'm just saying, we don't know that the boys haven't said something.
Well, I think that if it was anything different from what the boys have said, they would have arrested somebody at this point. I really do. I honestly, I know you got a different opinion than me, but
Right.
I just in my heart, and I've asked God, I've prayed. I said, Lord, if it's anything different, please let me feel differently. And I've not felt
Okay. I got a
differently
good question for you. How come? Okay. And we all know what your feelings early on in the case were, right?
the when I first started my
No,
YouTube
well,
channel.
no, I know you were behind them in the first place, but then you said, "Oh, wait a minute, this is
When I got
likely
on,
to have happened."
I went on the live. Yeah, I went down that train, the rest of
Yeah,
the train.
there was lives and you had videos, and I remember
Mhm.
those because that's back when I
Mhm.
used to watch you.
Mhm.
Um, why did you remove those once you? Because I mean, you're not ever supposed to say something if you don't mean it, even if you come up wrong in the future.
Because I didn't know him. I didn't know him then. I never met him.
Well, I know, but why would you take your videos down?
Because I feel like that's disrespectful to them to keep
They knew,
videos.
but they knew that you said that. They watched your
Yeah,
videos too.
but that's also disrespectful to keep videos up of condemning the parents when I don't feel like that they've done anything now. And I've said some pretty mean stuff. I was on that train, and out of respect for them, I won't put that back out. That's just how I feel. I'm just wanting to be respectful to them. Like I'm actually losing money by not putting those videos out because people watch them. They go back and watch them, but I'm not going to do that because it's not worth it. Like I felt very convicted because I shared Molly Go Lightly when it first happened. Don and Candace's fight on Molly Go Lightly's. I shared it. I had 30,000 views on that, and something told me that's not right, take it down, and I took it down and I completely deleted it. And no, it's just not right. It's disrespectful to keep those up, in my opinion. It's very disrespectful to keep them up if I think differently.
Fair answer.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, I can't convince
I don't like
nobody.
anybody that hides stuff. I
Well,
mean,
I'm just doing it out of respect for them.
if like I said earlier in this live, if I say something, I mean what I say. And if later on my mind changes, okay, well, my mind changed. I can agree, hey, I was wrong at the time, but that was still my opinion at the time.
Yeah.
I don't ever dirty delete.
Well,
Ever.
it's not really dirty delete, it's just respect. That's all it is. Just like last night, I felt like I went too far with me and Justin. I mean, I don't want to do that. I don't want to fight with people. And I realized that it was just going too far, and people were making crazy accusations, trying to call CPS and all that. And I was like, nope, I'm not doing this. Absolutely not. Do not do that. I took it down because it just is going too far. And that's not what I want. That's not why I come on YouTube, is to fight with people and viciously attack people. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not. And that's why I took it down, and that's why I won't put it back up. That's why
Okay.
I clipped it
Okay.
and put it
And
up.
I do appreciate you clipping that. I really do. I seen that this morning. Um, if Dawn and Candace, because everybody's like, well, they've not charged them, so they have to be innocent. Well, if they were innocent and they've not charged them, wouldn't they have cleared them?
I guess they would have, but I guess they would have named them as suspects because they named in Monkey Vaughn's case.
Yeah, I
They
know.
come out and named those guys as suspects.
Right, I know. But
But
they
I don't.
also have cleared the parents in that case too.
Yeah, every police department is different though. Um, but they do keep in contact with Dawn. I know that. Dawn told me that they do.
Oh, and
They
by
keep
the
it
way,
hanging.
I said earlier in the chat or in the live, anytime, because I know you live close by where I'm at,
Uh-huh.
anytime that you want to get together and us go and walk and see if we can't put flyers up, hunt for any one of these babies. It don't have to be just Summer, any kid. I'm
Yeah.
up for it.
Well, if I, yeah, Candace is coming back this week, so maybe
She can go along.
that's what I was getting ready to say. Maybe she could go with us, to get take some flyers. I thought about going with her, myself, me and her going and putting some flyers up, but she's definitely coming back this week. And I wouldn't care to get to all of us get together and do that. Put flyers out for summer.
That
Get
works.
those plastic white things like Brandy does. You know those folder like plastic things.
I have a lamination. I have a
Yeah, there you
laminating
go. A
machine.
lamination.
Um, so do you have a clue what the 300 got spent on that you already sent her?
Well, I know she had to fix her brakes and stuff. I know she had to do that. And um she's gasoline, food, and probably I if I had to guess, I don't know if it's true. I can't say, but she's probably had to help Don's daughter a little bit while she's been there. I've not asked her about it, but I know she did have to have some work done on her car before she takes off. So, but yeah,
Well, I'm sorry. That's another thing I've been
he's
bitching
got
about the last
grandbabies
few
up there.
days is I don't think that Dawn and Candace should be getting help from strangers because although we cannot totally 100% say they are guilty of anything in the disappearance of Summer, they are guilty for the fact that their boys are not with them.
Well, it's like this. If people would leave them alone and stop calling their POs and going to their work and getting them Don fired and stuff like that, they probably wouldn't need help. But Don had a good job up there, and they just kept right on until they got him aggravating his PO and stuff until he had to come back here and start all over again. So yeah, like kick them when they're down. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Like if people would just leave them alone and let Don get off his feet a little bit, it wouldn't be like that. That's one thing I say. But now I did say I'm not putting my Cash App out anymore because it does cause a lot of or her Cash App or anybody's Cash App out anymore other than maybe mine on lives that's not about summer. Um but no, they absolutely like had to restart all over again. I mean, it's again,
But
it's
yeah, but Dawn makes decent money, Daisy, and it's just the
yeah,
two
and
of
it
them.
was costing them like $250 a week just for that hotel room
Right.
alone. I don't know all
Daisy,
about his other stuff,
Daisy,
huh?
my daughter lives with her son in a long-term motel room and she
So you
pays a
know it's
thousand
expensive.
dollars a month.
Yeah,
And guess what? She works at a truck stop. She don't make nowhere near what Don Wells makes. She doesn't
right.
have a vehicle. She has to walk back and forth to work.
Yeah. Well, I
So
also think
I'm
that Don was
sorry.
helping.
I don't find Dawn and Candace's story about, oh, he's having such a hard time. You
Well, now
make
he was
decent
down on his
money.
back. He was down on his back a couple weeks there where he couldn't work.
Right. Well,
And that there and I also do think that he helps his daughter too. She's got babies and she's been sick and he's voiced his concern a lot about her, that he worries about her. He even told me he thought she was going to die if
well,
there's a bone
my heart
infection.
goes out to him. Like I just told Chad earlier, I asked for prayers because my daughter
Hmm.
was just told this morning that she more than likely is suffering from an enlarged heart.
Ooh, that ain't good.
That same daughter that walks back and forth to work.
She's
that
still
pays a
doing that?
$1,000 a month for her room, her room.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
as I said again, I'm sorry, I can't feel too sad for Don and Candace. He was down in his back. I've been down in my back and still had to tend to my 4 kids. And
yeah.
that's a hard damn job, a whole lot harder than spackling a wall.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if it wasn't for that, I can maybe once they get back on their feet again and everything, it'll be better if people would just leave them alone. If they would quit calling and quit causing trouble and just let him be. He's made it clear to me that he's not coming back on YouTube. And I told him that's the best thing that they could ever do is not come back on YouTube because all it does is cause them trouble and they need peace right now. They need peace. They've not even really had a chance to grieve over summer, being missing or anything like that.
What? Uh, what?
Huh?
What?
I said they haven't even had a chance to grieve over summer going missing.
Daisy, come on.
Well, Don got put in jail right there in their life. It's been
Right there, he had 9, 10 months right there. He could have been grieving, but
together. I mean, together
I
to
know
get their lives
together.
back together.
But I'm not trying to jump on you, but I'm just so agitated. Where have they before they went to Arkansas and
Hmm.
everybody was calling his probation officer and he lost his why didn't they take any of the money? Because they didn't have rent or anything. All they had was lights and their phone bill. Why didn't they take any of the money that was donated and go ahead and pay up, like prepay on the child support or
What money
buy
that was
more
donated?
flyers, pay for a more experienced, obviously, PI than what they already had, one that would look for Summer if they truly believe that she's missing. I mean, why aren't they doing anything constructive? Why isn't Don giving some of the money that's being given to him? Why isn't he turning it over to the church that he swears he loves
What
so
money are you
much?
talking about? What money?
The money that they have been given over the past 2 years.
I don't know anything about that. I just started talking to them in the last few months. I don't know anything else about that.
I'm trying to get you to realize what everybody's so upset about.
I don't understand. I mean, I can understand why they are, but I don't I don't know what they do. I don't know what they've done before I started talking to them. You know what I'm
And you
saying?
truly don't know what they're doing now when you're not there or on the phone with them.
Well, nobody does. No, I mean, I you don't know what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hmm.
So are you hiding in the shed out back with a bottle of R&R?
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
Out there with the chickens in the chicken house. No, I don't drink. I got blood pressure issues. I can't do that. But no, I mean, we don't know. I mean, I can't say 100% what anybody does, to be honest with you.
Right. I agree. We can't. All we can do is speculate and go with our gut feeling. And people that support the whales, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but people that support the whales, you're sitting there saying, my gut feeling, my gut feeling.
Yeah.
Well, y'all have to understand that our gut feeling is saying the total opposite.
I know. I've been there, done that. I know. But it's not our jobs to try to figure out what happened to Summer. It's the law enforcement's jobs to do that. And only the law enforcement can do that. And just like with Monkey's case, I don't I always put his little face out here, but I'm not digging deep into that case because I'm not going to do anything that's going to mess up that case. Now we did find out some information and we gave it to Brandy. We didn't put it on YouTube. We gave it straight to Brandy. What she done with it, she could send it to the cops or whatever, but I didn't put it out on YouTube because I don't want to mess with the case. I don't want to mess the case up.
Well, I'm not like that. I'm Christian through and through, and I believe in the fact that Jesus says that the little children, I can't quote how it's said, but basically, you treat the little children the same as you would treat him. And I also believe 100% that it takes a village. So if there is a missing child, I think it is 100% all of our duties
Do you think
to
that
try
if
to
people
find
would
that
have
child.
known, if people would have dug into Monkey's case and found out about this, that those people would have admitted? No. Sometimes putting stuff out can mess a case up.
You,
Absolutely mess it
you
up.
don't think people didn't dig into that?
Not, no, nothing like they did Summer's case. Nothing.
You know why?
Why?
Because Brandy and Tyler didn't come on YouTube 3 days after Monkey went missing and say, "We'll see him in the resurrection." They
Well, there
didn't
was a
come.
lot of people that was against Brandy
Yeah,
and
I
Tyler
agree.
at one time.
I agree. But
Not
they
me.
also
Not me. I've
they
always
also
supported
didn't
him.
come on YouTube and say our son is fish food now.
I don't know why Don says stuff like that. Honestly, I don't understand that, but I don't think he means anything. I just think his thoughts go there. I really think that he's had such a traumatic life that his thoughts go there and he lets it out. Like, you have to admit, Nana, Don tells it all. He lets it all out. And so
Yeah,
I
but is he
think,
telling the truth?
I mean, I mean, I mean, he doesn't say that he knows Summers like that. I mean, if he said that, he'd be arrested, you know. But I really feel like he feels that way. I don't understand it. I don't know. All I know is that he's being tormented in his mind. Like, listen, it's not like I could be very wrong, but in my heart, I don't feel like I am. And I know a lot of people don't like it, and I'm probably never going to change your mind, or you're not, probably not going to change my mind. I just ask that people respect my channel and not come after me because I have stuff on my channel, which I've not had Donna Candace in my channel in a while. Candace comes in and says hi, but she doesn't come up.
Right.
We're still friends.
Well,
She's
the
going to
only
come here and see me in a few days.
The only thing that I complained about lately about that was where you said that Candace was coming to answer some questions or something like that. And then Candace didn't come up on panel. She was just in chat. And of course, whenever she's in there, if she's supposed to be answering
She
questions,
couldn't.
nobody ever gets to ask her any questions.
There's plenty of people that's asked her questions and she's answered in the chat. She answers questions in the chat. It just depends on if she feels like it for that day. But
Right,
she has answered questions in the chat. I think she's answered more questions on my channel than she ever has on
right,
anybody else.
right.
But
But
you do
honey,
have to think
if
it.
you
She couldn't
block
come up on.
everybody, if you block everybody that disagrees with what you think about what happened,
No,
then the
I
only
as long as they're being respectful, I don't block
I
everybody.
understand, but then the only people asking Candace any questions are the ones that think she's innocent.
So you think she's going to answer questions if somebody comes up and says, "You killed your kid"? You know, she's
No,
not going to do that. She's going to
no,
tell.
but I do believe that thank you, Vet Girl, so very much. Thank you, sweetheart. Daisy, if you hear something disturbing, will you contact TBI? Have you contacted TBI about anything? Please and thank you.
The only thing I've ever called TBI about is like when Jody Sue put that out about the kids. That's, when she said that when I was non against Don and Candace. I think that's the only thing I've contacted them about that
Right,
I
but
remember. Of
and
course, yes, absolutely.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, oh Lord, I've just lost my train of thought. I hate this. I hate getting old.
Me too.
Uh, but if nobody should get up there and show disrespect and just blatantly say, okay, you killed
No,
your kid, where's she laying? No, I agree.
no,
No. But
no.
if I came in like the questions I'm asking you, do you find them very disrespectful to you?
What do what now?
The questions that I've been asking you myself, do you
No,
find them very disrespectful?
no, not at all.
Okay, but me and you do not believe the same thing, right?
Right.
Okay, so but I can still ask you questions that I think is important
Yes.
and find out what your answer is to them.
Yes.
So that's all people are asking to be able to do with Candace.
Yeah. And we've let them do like I've let. Look, I had Justin was up there with Candace one day. He didn't ask her a bit of questions. I think he just kind of froze because he didn't expect her to be up there. Doug was up there with her. I think there's been, and I let Prayer Garden sit up there for about almost all my life and ask Don every question one night. I
Right,
mean,
that was when y'all were getting along.
yeah, yeah, that's when we were getting along, and I literally just let her because I'm not a very forward person, so I don't like. I'm not a big question asker, and so I just let her ask questions up there, and she did. He answered every one of them.
Right.
So
But the thing about it is just like, well, that's why I said, and I'm not pissed at him, but I won't have Don back on my panel simply because I did expect him to tell the truth, and I do not believe that he did. So, what use is it going to do to interview him again if he's just going to tell another set of lies or, not tell the whole truth? Or because, I mean, come on, he says himself, and I'm not trying to ask you to defend what he says, but he says himself that the reason that the um, CPS was up there on the 14th was to close out a case because he had allowed the kids to hold guns, and the neighbors called in and said that he had let Summer hold an air pistol on the roof, right?
yeah, I remember that.
Okay, and that the 14th is when they closed that case out. That's what they were doing there, the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
But yet when I interviewed him, he said CPS came up there to close the case out, but that the kids didn't go on the roof until after CPS left.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
You can go watch my live. You'll hear him say it.
I don't know.
But
Maybe.
that's what I'm saying. He refuses to continuously, even if he's not going to tell the truth, Daisy,
Mhm.
he needs to at least keep telling the same lie to make it believable.
I don't know. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I've not asked him about anything like that. I talk to Candace more than I do Dawn,
Right.
so I don't know anything like that as
Well,
far as
I would
that.
I would love to have the opportunity to talk to Candace, and I would ask her about these things that Don has said, and see if we can't get some kind of clarity from her about why he would say that the case was about the kids having guns, but then yet the kids didn't go on the roof until after the case was closed. I mean,
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I believe he probably messed up or he probably misunderstood or something. I don't know. Cuz I feel like he's pretty straightforward about stuff, but I don't know. I've never just asked him like I said, I'm not one of these people that just
right.
comes out and asks. I'm not a sleuth. I've told people I'm not a true crime sleuth.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
not
look
I'm
up
not a true crime sleuth either.
I don't look up
I'm
people's
a mother and
backgrounds.
a grandmother who has learned to deal with conniving, manipulative, lying. When you have 8 children in your home and they're within 5 years of each other, and you ask them, I can guarantee you, I can bet money on it. You say, who did this? Guarantee you, not a nary one of them. Nary one of them did it. Now you
You're
start taking them one by one off to theirself, and you start talking to them, and you start getting pieces of the story. That's why keep saying there's a little bit of truth in every lie that's told, especially
oh
in this
yeah.
case.
Let me ask you this. How do you feel about Fred Hill? Do you think he was lying, or do you think there's a little bit of truth to some of the stuff he was saying?
I believe there's a little bit of truth in everything he says. But
Yep,
just like
me
I've
too.
always said, Daisy, it don't matter who did what. It don't matter if Fred Hill goes to prison for the rest of his life because law enforcement says he did this to Summer. It don't matter if Cotton Simpson was named as the person that did this to Summer. Don and Candace will never rest because people will always find the connection. Well, they sold her to whomever. They gave her to whomever.
I don't
It's
believe that for nothing.
you don't believe people are not going to give up.
No, no, I don't. You're absolutely right, but I don't believe that they would ever have sold her.
No, no,
Absolutely
I
not.
know. I know what you think. I'm just
Yeah,
saying people are not going to give up. People are not going to
no,
just simply say, "Oh, well, Fred did it. Okay, well, case closed. That's the end of it."
no, absolutely not. You're
Yeah,
right about that, 100%.
Dawn and Candace are never going to have peace. And I mean,
No,
it's bad to say if they're innocent.
yeah, yeah, that's sad too. That's a sad situation. That's sad. I pray every day that the Lord moves on this case and that it comes out so everybody can have closure
And
when it
no
comes to
matter who
her.
it is, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of evil in this case. A lot of evil in this case. You're absolutely right. No matter who it is, I pray that the Lord brings the knowledge to the law enforcement to find out what happened to her and to bring her home. I do. And Monkey too. Not just her, but Monkey too. It's coming up on 2 years on the 27th that he's going to be missing for 2 years.
Right, but at least we do have in that case we have the parents have been cleared.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we
Yeah.
have that much. At least
Yep.
we can grieve with the parents in Monkey's case.
Yeah. I
We can't
mm,
grieve with Dawn and Candace until we know, because just like you used to say, you Summer, you're all for Summer when you had her picture in the corner, and I'm not saying that you're not now, but you don't have the conviction for Summer that you used to have. When you had the conviction for Summer, you were like the rest of us, and it's like there's something special about this baby girl, and we are not going to rest until whomever it is, don't matter who, pays for it.
I still have that conviction, Nana. No matter who it is, I still have that conviction. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know last night about any of that comment. And absolutely, if I would have seen that in the chat, I would have reported it to the TBI. Just because I'm friends with people doesn't mean that if I found out any different that I wouldn't do anything. I have conviction for Summer,
Right. I
100%.
would definitely hope you would, Daisy. For if I
Why
mean,
wouldn't I? I
no,
mean,
I'm
because,
saying for Summer's sake, yes, but for your own anyways, because
oh, yeah.
if they were to have ever told you anything and you didn't go straight to TBI with it, then you could
Or you
be
could
in
go to
trouble.
jail.
Yeah.
That's withholding evidence in a case. Yeah, absolutely. But they haven't. I mean, everything they've told me has been straight up. Like, she's been kidnapped. Somebody took her. Um, you know,
But really, what else can they say? If they're guilty, what else could they actually say? They're
they,
not going to turn around and tell somebody, "Oh, well, we've been telling everybody this, but let me tell you what really happened here."
yeah,
Like I said, they're no, they do not have to outsmart law enforcement. They do not have to outsmart TBI. They just have to be smart enough. If they're guilty, they just have to be smart enough to keep their mouths shut and not tell anybody.
I, I just, I don't know. I know a lot of people make fun of me over saying that when I seen Candace and that look in her eye when she looked at me and we were talking about the Chad Arnold thing. She looked at me and she said, "You know, I think he might have took Summer, or he could have took Summer, something like that." And the look in her eye. I mean, I never brought it up. She brought it up,
Right.
and because we were talking about Clinch Mountain, and she said that when she went to Fred's that day to ask if they'd seen Summer, she went behind Fred's house. She said, and that um, and she told Christine that too, but she told me by myself once too. She told me and Christine together, but she said that she asked Fred, and that guy was there with Fred, and uh, he looked at her and said, "Well, I'll look on Clinch Mountain," and she said just by the way he was acting, she just thought that was odd. She said that him and Don were friends, and he'd always come and visit Fred after that, or Don before that, and then after that, he never did come back around. And she thought that was odd, but
Mm.
she doesn't want to think 100% sure. I mean, she don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but she looked at me like, you know, she just brought it out. Like I didn't ask her anything. She just told me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And you said that somebody was, oh, something about Clinch Mountain.
Uh huh.
Was Did they suspect Summer being on Clinch Mountain, or
Oh, I don't know. She just said that he said that he would look on Clinch Mountain for her, and
he
she
would
thought
look
that
on
was
Clinch
odd.
Mountain for? That's really odd.
That's
You know
so
why?
odd.
You know why that's so odd?
Uh huh. What
Because
do you
that's
think?
exactly where Carly Trent was found.
Oh yeah, I remember Carly Trent. I was praying for that little girl. I remember when she went missing.
And how many times have I said, chat? How many times have I said, where's the very last place anybody would look for a child who has been taken?
On Clinch
Perhaps
Mountain.
the same place the last one was found.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I was surprised because it took like 8 days. They hadn't found her in 8 days, and then they found her. And I was like, wow, what a miracle. You know, she's like, she's in her teens now.
Yeah.
But there, if there is a road, and I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but between Hawkins or between Ben Hill Road and Clinch Mountain, where the lookout is, the Veterans Park, there's a road that'll take you across that mountain to Virginia, and it's a real narrow, steep mountain with cliffs, and that would be a perfect place for somebody to take and hide somebody, in my opinion. Because I remember going across the Virginia mountain, well, going across that mountain, and it was part of Clinch, and thinking, dang, this is Boone Holler, you
Right.
know? And to think about it, the mountain's just massive. She could be anywhere if it was there. I
Well,
don't know.
evidently John Pruitt seems to think that she's somewhere in Beach Creek
I wonder why he thinks that.
because they think Dawn and Candace are guilty. And Don himself even said that, Daisy.
I don't think that they did it. I swear. What did Don say?
He said that's when he was talking about the night they got there, when they first got there, and they kept them separated, questioning them, and because they thought they had done it.
They thought Don did it?
Don and Candace, yes.
Lord have mercy. I don't know. I don't. I if he had an alibi, how could they have thought Don did it?
Well, does he really have it out? Okay. You believe the story
We
he
don't
says
know.
the dogs were gone, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
dogs were gone all day that day for some strange, odd reason.
yeah.
Don supposedly didn't make it home, Daisy, until 7 o'clock. If he wasn't there all day, how does he know if the dogs were there or not?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That'd be a good question to ask him, though, for sure. I could ask him that question if. I mean, I really believe Don. He's up front and honest. You have to
Well,
admit, Nana. He
He's
does.
up front. He's up front, but he's not honest, hun.
I don't know. I feel like he tells exactly what it is. I do.
He tells exactly what he wants you to hear. I've already pointed out so many lies, Daisy. The one where he was talking with PG. He literally said that he was there and watched the TBI gather up all the stuff they used to give the sniff dogs. He even watched the sniff dogs go down the trail, right?
I did. Yeah, I didn't hear that part,
Okay,
but
yes, he did. I have that on a video too.
yeah.
Exactly 6 minutes into that conversation, he is asked again, why wasn't the jacket that I found? Why wasn't that jacket used? And he says, oh, I don't have a clue why it wasn't used. I wasn't there.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, I'm
I
just
don't know.
saying, these are the
Yeah,
inconsistencies. And that's why people, and I'm not, I sound agitated. I don't mean to, I'm sorry. But that's why people are getting so agitated at you, is because you're not seeing these inconsistencies in their story. And you're defending them whether or no. When it don't matter whether it was Dawn and Candace or Joe Blow, we're supposed to stand by Summer. No, you don't have to crucify Dawn and Candace if you don't feel they did it. But don't protect them.
I'm not
Don't
protecting
take,
nobody, to
I
be
mean,
honest
don't
with you.
take up for them is what I meant. Is that's what I'm talking about. Don't take up for them. If you don't want to crucify them or blame them or say anything about them, then don't. But don't. That's what people are getting so hurt and agitated about.
The thing is I all I can do is tell you what I seen and heard. That's all I
Right.
can do. And
Well, I mean, I appreciate you
that's how I
talking to
feel.
me. I do appreciate you talking to me, and I do have a loud voice, and I get very passionate
I
at
got one
times.
too. I know. We're all passionate about this case. Uh but the point of the matter is that until law enforcement gives us an update or gives us information more about what's going on in the case, you know, I just I can't come after the parents if I don't believe that they've done anything, even though they've made some really bad mistakes and they've got a terrible past. And I don't know if people's even if anybody's even uh watched the lives where Candace has come on and opened up about her childhood and everything. She's literally come up on my panel and opened up about her whole entire childhood. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but she has.
Yep. But then again, you can't just take one person's word for that. You need to go back and check with Grandis, check with
Well,
any aunts or
the
uncles that are still living that may know the truth. Whether she said she was put in the system early on, right? Because her dad really wasn't her dad, and that he was only
oh,
the
I
dad
believe
to
it was her
Rose and,
dad.
and Jenny. And
He looks like her. I told her that too. I said, "You look like your dad."
right, but I'm just saying these are the stories that Candace are telling is
Well, now
telling.
she was telling the truth about the she was telling the truth about the whole CPS thing and the gun because they dropped the charges on her
Oh
on
no,
the gun
I'm
thing.
not. I'm talking about when she was a kid.
Oh, I believe her. I believe she's got some hurt. I believe that. I mean, I believe that she went through that. I think that's why. I just think that she protects her heart by detaching. I think that she's been so used to losing people in her life that she protects herself, and that's how she does it. She
Okay.
loves her kids, but I think she has a she detaches herself to keep from getting hurt. That's what I think. And my niece used to do the same thing. She's
I never said Candace don't love her kids.
oh, she loves them. I've seen her cry for them a lot.
I just think her and Dawn should have put the kids first.
And we don't know if they did or not. We don't know what
Daisy,
really
what does outside of your house look like?
chicken, look a bunch of chickens and stuff.
No junk and
Listen,
metal.
listen,
I know.
Nana.
I've heard your stories. I've heard your stories, and I grew up poor too, honey. I grew up. I was lived in when I was a kid. I lived in a house that didn't have power. But let me tell you something. My mom and daddy, my daddy took care of the outside of the house, and my mama took care of the inside of the house. And no, we didn't have the finest of everything, but it was safe for their children, inside and out. And Don, being a person in construction, he could have made better bunk beds for them kids. He could have had the drywall and stuff put up downstairs. He made it well enough money. They didn't have to pay rent. They didn't have to pay a mortgage payment.
I agree with you on that one.
And when before, okay, they knew CPS, evidently they knew CPS was involved because they come and closed the case on the 14th, according to them. So why didn't they start cleaning the house up? Okay, they're not good housekeepers. But when CPS gets involved, you clean the inside and outside of your house. Okay, so
But
they didn't. They didn't. But after summer got gone, they damn sure knew that CPS was coming then to keep their boys. Why didn't they clean that mess up? They
well, I
didn't
didn't think it was
protect.
as. I think the outside was bad, but I didn't think the inside was that bad.
Well, it's
Honestly,
bad.
didn't.
It's bad. So let me tell you, CPS would have not. That was a fire hazard. You are not allowed to have boxes and stuff sitting in your floor. You are not allowed to have open wiring showing in your house.
But if they came the 14th, why didn't they say something then? Why didn't they? Like, if it was that bad,
Because
why didn't
we
they do
only have
anything?
to take Don's word for that it was being closed out, Daisy. We
That's
don't know
true.
that it actually got closed out.
I feel like, listen, I feel like the house was way better than what I've grown up in. And
Right. But did any of your siblings disappear?
no,
Was CPS called into your house?
one time it was, they didn't do nothing though.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was, they did do it. But the thing is, I understand where you're coming from, Nana. I do. I understand how a lot of people feel, but I do feel the way that, I do, because there's things I know that you don't know that's personal and that I've seen, not anything to do with Summer going missing, but just things in life in general that I don't want to say, um, that makes me think differently. And I could be wrong. Absolutely, I could be wrong. But by ripping the parents apart, what good is it going to do? It's not going to do
Do
anything.
you hear me ripping them apart? No.
No, but I'm just saying, just
I throw out their possibilities. I throw out their
there's a lot of
theories,
people that does though.
but you do not hear me ripping them apart. Now, Don going on live streams and using the bathroom while he's got his daughter's
Oh
name coming
yeah.
out of his mouth.
Well,
Yes,
he
I get
yeah.
furious.
Yeah. He's even admitted that that was a mistake on his part. But yeah.
I mean,
But
yeah, I go off about stuff like that.
the thing
And
is,
go ahead.
uh,
Go ahead.
the thing is, if you had Don and Candace on your live, just like Benny Keys and everything, just like Ernie, that's your live. That's between y'all. I don't find it my business to get into other people's stuff. And I know a lot of people's upset over what happened last night over the TBI, but I'm just sitting back. I'm staying out of it. I'm not going to try to attack anybody because people make mistakes. And I've been putting my farm videos up because I got another channel, a farm channel. And I'm not gonna. I'm not. I just don't want to fight no more. I don't want to fuss about it. I want to be able to be friends with Don and Candace and not fuss about it. And whatever happens in the case, happens in the case, because this is only one case of many that we will be following.
Right. I agree. And I was trying to explain to you a while ago,
Hmm.
nobody's asking you to attack them.
No. I don't.
Nobody's asking you to not be friends with them or support them.
Yeah.
We're just asking you to stop defending them until you find out. Just like we're not supposed to say that they did it, and that I try not to until we find out one way or another. Don't say they're innocent
Nana,
until
you
we find out.
realize, let me ask
What?
you a question. You realize that people viciously attack me, horribly, make fun of my weight, make fun of my everything. Now, what is that going to do to help Summer? I'm not saying your chat does it, but there is some chats that has totally and thoroughly. And then they wonder why I act like I do, and I feel like I'm a ninja trying to fight everybody off. And that there's only so much you can take
Well,
off
I
of these.
told you, and I hope you have not seen anything in my chat from my people that's
And
bad.
well, the thing is when it comes to Auntie Sherry, try having Auntie Sherry up on your panel
I did have
and
during
try
game night the other night.
and was you talking serious about a case at that point?
No, we were playing a game. It was game night.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. We do that too. But when you are literally up there talking about something very serious in a case, and Auntie Sherry can't hear, and but she wants to be up there with you to hang out, and you don't want to be rude and throw her off, or you don't want to let her sit in the back chat, so you just turn her down. She knows I turn her down. You all don't realize I talk to Auntie Sherry behind the scenes. She calls me all day long. I fall asleep on the phone with her so she'll have somebody to talk to at night when she's not online. It's not always just about being online. Am I hurting Auntie Sherry right now? Absolutely, I am. Do I want Auntie Sherry for her cash apps and stuff? No, she's never gave a cash app. She only gives super chats. After someone gives a super chat, you cannot take it back. I've told her not to do it. She does what she wants. But the thing of the matter is, it's either not let her up and hurt her feelings, kick her off the panel or hurt her feelings, or turn her down and just let her talk away. What?
Uh,
Because literally, people complain if I don't do that, and she knows she can't hear,
Right.
and she wants to be a part of the show. So she comes up, and we turn her down
Okay.
because
But what did she do yesterday that you? And I'm not. I don't know the woman. I mean, I met her the other night on game night. The simple fact that she's elderly
yeah,
and
I
she
love Auntie
probably
Sherry.
don't have that much longer to live.
Do you want me to tell you what she done? Listen, okay, so what started it with me and the Curvy is that I was over there and or I would Curvy had been in chats all day long just bashing me because there's issues between me and her. But anyways, she kept smarting off to Auntie Sherry. Auntie Sherry was up on Jinky's channel. Jinky's was they were laughing when she gets with around Top Dog who was seeing Curvy. Curvy's got a anyway. Auntie Sherry jokes around with Top Dog. They carry on. Y'all probably seen it a lot of times on there. Curvy kept smarting off, smarting off, smarting off, and even Auntie Sherry told me she was being a bitch, so I called her a bitch, 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 bitch. And then she was laughing about it when she thought it was Sherry calling her or Evelyn a bitch, but when she found out that Auntie Sherry called her the bitch, she threatened to smack Auntie Sherry. Okay, and I'd put up with this woman all day. She called Auntie Sherry that day, or she'd been trying to tell Auntie Sherry this, that, and others. So I went up there and called her a bitch myself, and then it just blew up. But Auntie Sherry comes up sometimes and she packs tails back and forth. I love her to death, but she does that. And I guess we all know that me and Jinky's boyfriend don't get along. And then when I was expressing how I felt, Auntie Sherry wanted to take up for him and say rude stuff. And it hurts my feelings that she does that after I've took up for her. And it's just to me an Auntie Sherry thing. That's just all it is to it. I know you don't understand that, but I was having a pretty deep conversation about different cases, and Auntie Sherry comes up and interrupts it sometimes, and then when she takes up for someone and says, I mean, like if Auntie Sherry has an opinion, then she can keep it to herself. When I'm up there expressing how I feel, and you would be the same way over your channel.
Actually, yeah, I would, but and the difference would be
But
I would take her aside and explain to her exactly what you just said to me.
I
You
have
you
a
can't
thousand
hear,
times.
so and we're having this problem and this problem, so I'm not going to bring you up on panel
Hmm.
when we're discussing
I have
something
explained
serious.
that to Auntie Sherry, but Auntie Sherry wants to be up there. Whether we turn her down or not, she wants to be up there with us. And it's not always.
You know what the wise thing would have been to do? And if she shows back up, I'll work with her and I'll get her set up. I will set Sherry up with her own YouTube channel.
Do you not know she's the wildest woman on YouTube? Have you not seen her?
Yes, I've seen her.
Have
And
you seen her? Really
she
seen her?
will have a ball having her own channel. And I guarantee you she will
Well, I
have,
think her and Deborah Ann's going to start their own channel.
well, good. She needs to.
She does. But the thing is, people coming after me over that, that's just between me and Auntie Sherry. They don't know what goes on really between me and Auntie Sherry and how hard it is to be in the middle of a live. And then Sherry likes to party. That's
No,
all.
I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be in the middle of a live and have all that going on because, see, I don't allow all that crap over here.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't let people up, but I do.
Oh, I'll let
Um,
anybody that wants to come up come up.
you know, the thing is, I like having Auntie Sherry up there with me. She's got a lot of insight. But when she can't hear, she just cannot hear. And then she talk. Auntie Sherry, I love her, but she drinks a lot. So when she drinks a lot, she talks a lot. And you can't do a normal live and do that. You just can't do it.
Right.
It just ain't happening. But I don't go over on Justin's and critique what he does. I don't go on Prayer Gardens and critique what she does or anybody else. So why is everybody critiquing my channel? That's what I'd like to know.
But
Every little thing
I'm
I
sitting
do.
here. That's what I was trying to tell you. That's what I was trying to tell you when we were on PG's panel together,
And
whenever it
another
was.
thing, and I know you're not the one that does it, but just like I said yesterday, you know, people don't want their private lives brought up, but mine was brought up about something that happened to me that was very hurtful and a very hard time in my life, but people thought that it was a joke and that they was going to pay my sister's boyfriend to tell them what happened. And how is that right? What does that have to do with missing kids' case?
It doesn't, and
It's absolutely ridiculous.
you have
I'm
two
not saying
choices.
you do that.
No,
I know
no,
you don't do that, but
you
there
have
is
two
one that does it.
choices. You can either keep your channel straight and ongoing and keep that riffraff, whether it be your sister, her boyfriend, or whoever it
Oh
is,
no, no, no. That's
away,
done.
or you always have the option if things get too rough and you literally can't listen to it anymore. There's a button on YouTube that says log me out, discontinue my channel.
Oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not giving nobody
Well,
the
that's what
satisfaction.
I'm saying though. That's the only two choices you have.
I just am not going to let people dictate my channel or what I do on my channel, no matter how much of a fuss they have, or no matter what kind of temper tantrum they have, or whatever. I do what I want, just like you do what you want on your
Right.
channel. I'll do
Well,
what I
and
want.
and and I was strictly just trying to let you in on why people's feathers are so ruffled. And
There's a lot of evil.
it's literally not because you're friends with Don and Candace.
Yes,
It's
it is. A
no,
lot of it.
it's because you're defending them before you find out if they're guilty or innocent.
I just tell whatever I feel. Like my my chat is my chat. And I'll be honest with you, Nana, I don't want the people that's in those other chats that attack me in my channel. I don't want anything to do with them. Like most creators would get mad because like they're in those chats and they
Do
support
you
those creators. I
do
don't
you
want
know
them.
what I did? Do you know what I
What?
did at Christmas when everybody was cussing me out on their channels and stuff?
What?
I took and went into those channels and I read through the chats, and every name that had something bad to say about me, I wrote it down.
Uh-huh.
I went and found their channel and I blocked them from my channel
Oh, I do. I do. Make no mistake.
in
But
one big mass block,
oh yeah.
not one at
Well,
a
I've
time.
had I've had to get rid of mods here in the last couple of days because of it. It's just a part of being a creator.
No,
Um,
not having to get rid of mods and stuff. No, ma'am, I have never gotten rid of mods. I still
well,
have the
you're
very first
lucky.
mod. Still have the first mod I ever modded.
You're
And if you
lucky.
become my mod, you are always my mod.
You're lucky because I've had them turn against me. Make oh, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
I have wonderful people in my chat, my subs, my mods, my viewers.
Yeah, I do too. And the thing is, it's not my subs that's doing it. And like, I'm getting to the point where I don't care what other people think in those chats because they're vicious people. They're very evil, vicious people. If you want, no matter what about Don and Candace or whatever case, when you literally viciously sit behind a keyboard and attack another human being in every possible way and say the horrible things you can say about them, you are evil. And I don't want that in my chat. I don't want those people around. I don't care if I stay at 10,000 subs the rest of my YouTube channel. I would rather have the people I have in there than those kind of people. And when they want to come in there and leave their little nasty messages, my mods go in and delete it. I don't even have to see it. And if I do see it, they might write a paragraph. I'll read 2 seconds of it and it's gone. I don't even want to hear what they have to say because I've never seen in my whole life such evil, vile people that's in some of those chats.
Well, the one person that I know you're referring to, you may feel that that person is evil and vile, but I'm telling you that is one of the sweetest people you'd ever come across.
Who?
She is a friend of mine, and
Who?
she is a very common sense.
Oh, common sense. No, I wasn't talking about
She's
her.
a very very sweet, God fearing woman who
She attacks a lot of me for no reason. She doesn't know me and she says some mean stuff. And the live she made about, or the video she made about Christine was pure nonsense. It was.
hold up. I've got somebody at my door. Hang on.
20.
So sorry about that, guys. So sorry about
It's
that.
okay.
I'm all the way in the back of the house, and when somebody knocks,
I do want to say something. Like, one of the person in your chat said, Daisy, I'm trying to feel sorry for you, but you aren't the victim. I never ask anybody to feel sorry for me. Absolutely not. See, that's just like one of them says, inside was disgusting, Daisy. You're disgusting. Now, how is that being a
who is
nice
that? Who
person?
said that?
Duke Star. That's what point is that to sit and say something about somebody like that? No, Nana, I see where you're coming from, though. I really do. Just, I don't want to, Vet Girl is a very nice person. She really is. But I do understand where you're coming from, Nana. And hopefully, maybe we could get together when we get with Candace, and you could talk to Candace yourself,
I would greatly
and we
appreciate that. And
could get together and put out flyers all
I would
over.
talk to Candace with just the same amount of respect as I talk to Dawn. And they ain't nobody can say I didn't talk to Dawn with respect.
Right, right.
Miss Daisy, please be cautious. Your heart is the right place, I believe, but people can manipulate that easily when they have done it so long.
And I understand that. I totally understand it, and I appreciate that too. And I
Jasper
am
says, but your chat says awful things as well.
not. I wouldn't allow them to say mean stuff like some people says like that. That's no. If they do, they're out. And my mods are very aware of that. But anyway, Nana, I appreciate you talking to me. I'm gonna jump off here,
I
and
appreciate you coming up.
but yeah, I'll get together with you and see, talk to Candace, and maybe we can meet up somewhere and go out to dinner, and then maybe put some flyers out
Well, yeah, I would
for
rather just
summer.
spend the day putting flyers out and looking, seeing
True.
what we can do. So there's plenty of kids around here besides Summer that is missing, and they all need the attention. And if
Yes,
if
ma'am.
if Candace can't find her, and I'm not meaning this derogatory, okay? If Candace can't find her own child, then she can pitch in and help look for another child.
And
Know what
she
I mean?
would. She would too.
So we'll
She
make
would.
that a plan.
All right. Well, you take care, and I'll let you know. Okay.
All right.
All right.
I'll
Bye
be
bye.
here. Bye,
All right.
hon.
Bye.
Okay, guys, we've been on here for 3.5 hours. You won't believe them because it is so hard for you to believe they are capable of anything so sinister. I understand you just want to love. Be careful, Miss Daisy. You know that's a respectful chat. Unfortunately, no definitive answers, just excuses. So sad. I agree, but you got to try to learn to read between the lines. I didn't think we were going to get any definitive answers. I wanted to hear what she said about what happened. I wanted to have a chance to tell her the things that I said in the chat about her so that nobody can try to, oh, we're going to clip your channel and put it out there. You said something awful about and get something started. I'd much rather me tell her what I said and her hear it from me than somebody try to clip it and cause drama. That's bullcrap. But now we know Daisy has been warned. She has been fair warned about Dawn and Candace. There's no possible way that she can't say in the end, if they become that they are, if it's found out they are guilty, there's no way she can say, I didn't have a clue. There's no way. Because between those blurred lines, it's becoming more clear they know something. You should be proud of your people. I am very proud of my people, very proud. Now, I did go ahead and time out Dukester, but it'd be all right. But I asked for y'all to be respectful, and that person wasn't respectful, so But it was, and the show was over anyway, so I am very proud. I brag on how everybody acts in my chat all the time. Ask Discovering and Alpaca. I brag about you all the time. Well, the other creators. The answer lies with Dawn Wells and Candace Bly and Candy Hare. Daisy is responsible for her own answers. Right. Maybe it's a start. Right. Hey, Vanessa. You are supposed to be respectful in any chat you go in. Yes, absolutely. In my opinion, Daisy's going to be eating crow in the end. Okay, doke, guys. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. I've got to try to start getting supper ready a little bit early tonight. But I greatly, greatly appreciate all of you being here, listening. Not sure if you learned what you wanted to learn or heard what you wanted to hear. Sorry if your question didn't get asked. I truly am. I was truly trying to just have a one-on-one conversation with her so that I could try to hear something. And read between the lines if need be. I mean, did I think that she was going to say, oh, yeah, they told me everything? No. I didn't. She got up here. She talked about what I originally asked her to come up for. And I can't ask for more than that. She stuck around and she actually had a conversation. Guys, I mean, if people don't like it, I'm sorry, but that's just who I am. Now, had somebody have said something or went off or caused me reason to go off the deep end, I was very near going off the deep end, but I will show restraint and respect as long as everybody shows me respect. Thank you, Nana, thank you, chatters, for your restraint. Thank you, Nana, for opening panel to Daisy. I don't have a problem with pretty much anybody coming up, creators, subs, mods, it don't matter. Like I said, as long as they show me respect, I'll show them respect. I just wish one time somebody could come up here and let me argue, though. Jeez, it gets old not being able to argue. Y'all, please talk to your kids, their friends, neighbors' kids, and neighbors' kids. You said neighbors' kids twice about stranger danger. So many parents don't, and kids are unaware of the dangers of this world. Yes. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you all for the time together. Thank you, guys, everybody. I greatly, greatly appreciate you guys. Yes, thank you, everyone, for showing respect. Thank you, Texas lady. I believe so. Non After Dark is coming soon. Watch out. Yeah, boy, is it coming. All right, guys. I love you all. I know one day you'll get up here and argue. I know one day. One day. All right. Bye, guys. I love you. Take care. Love your parents. Love your kids. Thank the good Lord above. And try to enjoy the beautiful day that you got ahead of you.